From the virtual World Center of Racing, we welcome you to coverage on the NASRA 360 Racing Network of the final race of the second season in the regular season point standings. It is virtual Daytona, and tonight the points will be decided. 20 drivers will be locked in to go to the playoffs. And right now, looking at the standings, along with William Tiller. Welcome back, my friend. I'm Wesley Outland, Adam Flieger on production. Going into Daytona, obviously our friend of the north of Canada won last week. He is not taking anything away from him. He's not a full-time competitor. He's not a committed racer. And besides what we talked about in pre-race to set the stage for tonight's race, William Tiller, Blake Lothian having 3 wins on the year, every driver that has at least got 1 win in the points, that's all they have. And there is at least 1 point to separate who makes it into that final spot for the top 20.
Yeah, absolutely, Wesley. And I couldn't pick a better track to have all this settled at than the beautiful Daytona International Speedway. And as you mentioned, there's going to be 1 point that separates that last spot. And Jose Luis Rivera is right there by 1 point, currently 21st. But I love that you touched on that, Wesley. No driver has won multiple times this season. That's how tight of a season it's been.
Yeah, it's definitely been a barn burner for sure. Besides Blake Lothian, who has won 3 out of his 6 starts, not a full-time competitor out of Wellesley, Massachusetts. It has been, of course, 1 win for all of these guys in the points. And let's be honest here, just like in the NASCAR Cup Series, in the Coke Zero Sugar 400, the final race before the regular season, before the playoffs fired off last night at Darlington in the Southern 500, won by Kyle Larson. To make it to that next phase, to run for a championship, you know, William Tiller, you have got to survive Daytona, especially the big one.
And I think what we're going to see here tonight, Wesley, not only surviving that big one, is experimentation. You're going to see it in stage number 1. You're going to get a bit of a longer stage in stage number 2 of those 45 laps. I think you're going to take everything that you've learned there about halfway through the race. You're going to apply it towards that last 50-odd laps or so to the end of this race, Wesley. And for some of these drivers, those strategies have to be spot on with everything being so close in this regular season finale.
We welcome you to the A's Lawn and Landscaping 250 from the virtual Daytona International Speedway. 250 miles is 100 laps. That's the same equivalent that the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series run here at Daytona during speed weeks on Friday night before the Great American Race. The same will be done here tonight. And of course, as William Tiller mentioned, stages. Stage 1, very quick, 20-lap stage. Stage 2, 25 laps to lap 45. Not even halfway yet in stage 2. Stage 3 will be 55 laps, 3 attempts at overtime if need be. Fuel capacity 100%. That pretty much means between 25 to 30 laps for a fuel run on trucks, making around the racetrack before pit stops. Green flag pit stops could be a possibility. No doubt by the end of stage 1, you know everybody's going to be pitting. That strategy of green flag pit stops might come into play in stage 2, but definitely if we stay green flag, William Tiller, and it doesn't get chaotic and crazy, stage 3 might see, of course, a chance of 1 or 2 green flag pit stops.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be a huge strategic part of that race. That last about 20, 25 laps, I see him being the most chaotic, most firework-filled part of the race.
Want to say thank you to everybody as the field is greeting. You can check us out on NASCAR Racing's social media handles on Facebook as well as on our YouTube channel. Please comment and let us know where you're tuning in from and your thoughts on tonight's race. And with that being said, it is time to introduce the starting lineup for the final race in the regular season points for Season 2 of the A's Lawn and Landscaping 250 here at Daytona. Fast qualifier, the Joker, Joey Doucette for Average Joe Motorsports. On the pole to the outside, Justin White in the number 2. Row 2, Adam Newton in the 82, and Ed Osborne in the 82. Row number 3 will find the 979 racing entry of Brandon Broadfoot and Cody Sanderson in 14. Row 4, Jonathan Wiley, the 511, and Louisiana's Brady LaBeouf in the 24. Top 10, William Tiller, Tyler Dittmer, our former broadcast colleague in the booth from last season in the 34, starts 9th. And Raul Meza, he has really improved in that Serve Pro. Driver out of California, the 37, will start 10th.
Absolutely, some awesome starting positions there for some guys right on that cut line. Starting off in that 11th position is going to be Chris Blanchard in that 9. Next to him is going to be Tyler Daniels in that 25 and that 12th spot. 13th position is going to be Jose Luis Rivera, currently 1 spot out of those playoffs points. Brian Chu will ride off in that 14th spot in that 51 machine. Hunter Parsons, 15 to match that car number. Joey Stires in that 23 is going to roll off 16. 17th position is going to be Jason Morales. 18th position is going to be Taylor Peacock in that 81. And rounding out our top 20, Zach Hartwick in that 71 and Steve Barnett in that 42.
Rowing on to row 11, Kerry Tribune, along with the other driver, of course, that will find, Kerry Tribune and Blake Lothian. There you go. There's your driver with 3 wins on the year. Then we move on to row number 12. That'll find Lance Miller, Cole Hendrickson. He is in the house, by the way, the man that won in Canada last week, the 101 from the north. Jacob Klinkhart, as well as Jeffrey Johnson Jr., the 33. Robert Richards, Jacob Reeves from Georgia. Nate Maurer, Brandon Bullock right now, your top 30.
Yeah, looking at our huge field here tonight, Donnie Lyons, Ron Hunter, and Chris Kynes will round out our 33 truck field here tonight in this season finale. We also look at Tori Thompson in that field as well. Wesley, we couldn't have asked for more. It's been a long season, but we'll see who will make it into those SimRacerHub.com Truck Series playoffs.
Will be fun to watch, no doubt about it. We'll kind of keep an eye on all of this going on as, again, right now, preliminary laps underway. Lap number 1 of 100. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. Jeremy Morales, he's rooting on, obviously, Jason, and everyone else on the boot. Here we go now. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors, and we will be set to go 100 laps in the A's Lawn and Landscaping 250. William Tiller, you were a part of the playoffs points or the finale, season finale last year before the playoffs started in season 1 when, of course, Adam Newbert won the inaugural series championship. What's the mindset of these drivers now as they're getting ready to come to green here?
No, Wesley, I just gotta say before we go green, it's the Super Bowl for a lot of these guys. They know that there's no more racing after tonight's race. We talked about the bonus you're gonna get for finishing in the top 20. Say if you make it into those playoff races and you finish dead last, you're still gonna get that extra bonus for being a playoff driver. So this is it for a lot of these guys. The entire season comes down to these next 100 laps.
The Sim Racer Hub Truck Series ready to go at it. And this will determine the final positions needed. We mentioned in the back, one per spot, 1 point separating drivers on the outside looking in to the Fast 20 onto the playoffs next week. Final round, Daytona. Green flag goes in the air, and we're underway in the A's Lawn and Landscaping 250. Side by side, they'll work their way through the travel up to turn number 1, where they're greeted by 31 degrees of banking. Climbing into turn number 1, William Tiller, they're in front of you.
Yeah, getting crazy already side by side for the race lead. And you see how dicey it is as Jason White takes us off the corner. He has Joey Doucette up there as the 82 of Adam Newton's going to pull out of line. Things already crazy here, Wesley, as we're coming into 3.
Adam Newton behind below the double yellow line, and he is falling all the way back. Free falling, if you will. Gotta find a way to tuck back in line. That's the biggest action on lap number 1. Newton still falling back as Tribune and others are running him down. Meanwhile, the pack comes storming, funneling through the tri-oval. It's White on the bottom of the racetrack. He'll lead lap number 1. Osborne, Doucette in tow. White on the outside. They work into 1.
Tiptoeing around each other as this race is just kicked off. You can feel the tension. You can feel the anxiety these drivers have here tonight as Justin White will take us off the corner as our race leader. Top side starting to dissipate there down the back stretch. Starting to see everybody find their friends, find who they want to work with as we're going down the corners 3 and 4. Justin White still leads.
Everybody stays in tow, watching that machine of White's truck. Now the Deuce leads the way. Osborne, Doucette, Broadfoot, Sanderson, your top 5. Everybody minds their P's and Q's as they work off turn number 4, and it's still going to be White leading the second lap of the race.
White looking good on that low side of the racetrack as Brandon Broadfoot in that 22 on the high side. He's trying to get something going up there, trying to find somebody to work with. Joey Doucette is pushing Ed Osborne along on that low side of the racetrack. The top side's no organization up there. Wesley Raul Meza finds himself at the tail end of that pack.
Watching all this going on again is right here in the opening laps. Remember, stage number 1 will go to lap number 20. Right now, probably the best thing to do, honestly, William Tiller, mind your P's and Q's. Stay calm. Don't make any mistakes, because honestly, there is still a long way to go in this race. You do not want to get taken out here in the early going. And by the way, if you're watching and you're new to the series, no fast repairs on this series as they work back to the tri-oval. Lap number 3 on the board.
I love that rule, Wesley, but we also have to keep in mind that these stage points could make the difference of whether or not you make it into those playoff races, so you have no time to keep it cool here early on in this race. Brendan Broadfoot keeps testing that middle lane. He's not liking the push from the outside right there of Cody Sanderson. Not liking that, making him uncomfortable still. Justin White, though, finding a lot of speed on that low side into 3.
Trying to make something work on that machine as he works now up the banking into turn number 3, climbing up the hill. It's White now on the bottom. Broadfoot now wants to scamper and make a move on the top side to get that second lane organized and work with more speed, with more trucks to follow. He literally loses ground. Now he'll hang right back there in tow with him, and at least the top 12 are door to door as they work their way back into turn number 1.
Yeah, still door-to-door right now. You can't afford to lose pace. You see a shot of the 20 machine of Jose Luis Rivera. He needs a good finish here tonight. We mentioned only 1 spot out of those playoff spots. As you see, Brennan Broadfoot now leads the way. He went from the high side to the low side, but he is John Force drag racing down the backstretch for the lead.
Yeah, making that way back out of the corner now. Broadfoot from the top of the racetrack now finds move and makes something happen on the bottom of the racetrack now. He will go to the lead. White will follow in tow. Here comes now Bullock will make a move on the outside lane. Here comes also Osborne, Doucette, Meza, Brady LaBeouf also making something work on the outside as they climb up the banking again into turn 1 on lap 5.
Trying to make up for those Bayou Bengals letting them down last night. The Louisiana man, Bray LaBeouf, is trying to make it up to the top of the grid. Very strong last season in this series, trying to keep that momentum flowing into the championship races. Of course, Bray LaBeouf's already locked in. No better way, though, to kick off those playoff races with a win, Wesley. But look how airtight this field is into 3.
By the way, I want to let everybody know the truck that I mentioned is Bullock is not. It is Cody Sanderson, the Toyota number 14 machine. He's flanked up on the outside. He's got a wingman. That's Brady LaBeouf in the 24 machine. They come storming, funneling through the tri-oval again. Another lap on the board. Broadfoot stays to the inside. White will follow, followed by Osborne. Doucette, that's the inside lane. Cody Sanderson has also the machines of LaBeouf, Meza, all in tow, back to 1.
Yeah, this is so tight right now. Wesley makes me nervous as they come around the apex of the corner. Brandon Broadfoot on that low side, exactly where he wants to be early on in this race. 7 laps in. If you're watching along with us here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, you can see there's absolutely no separation in this field as we're still side by side around 3 and 4.
Working their way back through the tri-oval. It's Broadfoot. He'll stay hugged to the bottom of the double yellow line. White will stay there. Ooh. Looks like Doucette's trying to get loosey-goosey. He goes inside. He goes outside. That correction. Ed Osborne. And believe it or not, lap trucks are about to be in the way of the leader, too. In front of the pack. It's right now Broadfoot staying hugged to the bottom, and Sanderson ready to pounce on the top. It just doesn't seem like it's got the momentum on the outside lane yet in 2.
You know, Broadfoot's heart's pounding like a kid coming down the stairs to a brand new bike on Christmas. He knows if he wins this race, he doesn't have to worry about those points. He's locked in. He needs all the points he can get. He's in a good spot to do it, though, as Justin White pushes him along on that low side of the racetrack as we ride on board with Brady LaBeouf. You see that traffic on the low side of the racetrack, Wesley, a lot more momentum on the low side.
They're trying all they can to keep that going on for them as they work back through the tri-oval out of turn 4, storming back through the Geico restart zone and now to the flag stand. Brady LaBeouf now, 3 wide, lap truck on the outside. That's going to be the 29 machine. He'll give way to those fast leaders. Team Realtree, Chris Kynes goes a lap down. More trucks a lap down include Peacock, Hartwick, and Donnie Lyons as they work into.
Just about halfway through stage number 1 right now. We're still trying to solidify the top 10 on the racetrack. It's been side-by-side racing since the drop of that green flag. Justin White, though, is trying to make his move back up to the top. He is now side-by-side with Cody Sanderson, who here tonight, Wesley, is really trying to put a stamp on this regular season finale, a name we haven't really locked out for.
Ready to make something happen. That Toyota, Cody Sanderson up on the outside lane. He just took the lead by a smidge, by a cat's whisker. And now to the lead again. Sanderson powers his way behind 7 Toyotas in tow. And now Justin White wants to put a bow tie back to the lead in 2.
Oh man, if we had heart monitors on these guys, their heart rates would be through the roof as we come off the corner. No give in any spot here on the racetrack. You see guys trying to find other air bubbles. They can't down the backstretch into 3 and 4. That lead is ever changing through every inch of this racetrack, Wesley, as we've now cracked the halfway point here in stage number 1.
Keeping our way off the corner. Still 10 remaining here in stage 1 of the A's Lawn and Landscaping 250 here at Daytona. Not only is it a big race at Daytona, it's the regular season finale. Your top 20 in the points will battle for the playoffs beginning next week. Here they come on this Labor Day Monday. They're not taking a day off. They're going to work probably the most they ever have in Nazareth, working off turn number 2.
Coming off of 2 now, Justin White back up to the lead. Brandon Broadfoot trying to get up there as well. He's on the low side of the racetrack. You have to watch out for Cody Sanderson and Ed Osborne, who are on the top side. You see that big run that Cody Sanderson is getting. He's getting that push from Bray LaBeouf and that 24 machine. Raul Meza, you talked about that momentum he's riding there, Wesley. That 37 machine finds himself inside the top 5.
Yeah, that Surf Pro machine really has definitely turned some heads, no doubt about it. Probably the last month when it counts the most, the run to the postseason. Working now lap 11 of 20. a 9 to go in stage number 1 here at Daytona. Everybody still minds their P's and Q's. Now it's going to be Justin White now back to the bottom. Sanderson up high. He's got a draft with LaBeouf, but Broadfoot stronger on the back as they work the super stretch off too.
Yeah, you can tell Broadfoot is locked up right there behind Justin White. Wants to get around him, just can't find that opportunity on the racetrack. Cody Sanderson knows going to get a big push from Ray LaBeouf into 3 and 4. Wesley, as the fans are watching along with us here, this has to be some of the cleanest racing we've had all season, as it looked a little dicey coming off of 4. Things are still clean as Justin White takes us across the line.
Gotta wonder if maybe there was a little pep talk being given by the NASCAR officials saying, guys, listen, we know that it's been kind of crazy and chaotic the last couple of weeks, but this is Daytona. To first win the race, you must first finish. Can't be tearing trucks up here in stage 1 to get to the end. Right now, a lot of respect earned and gained here at Daytona off of 2.
Yeah, for a lot of these guys, you know, I touched on it there, Wesley, great qualifying runs. You find yourself in a good spot to start out the stage. They do exactly what you were just talking about there, Wesley. You keep it calm, you keep it cool. You don't really press anything here in stage number 1. Make it through the stage with a nice, clean truck so you can live to fight another day as we come off of 4.
Working their way again off that corner now. Off of turn number 3 and 4 through the tri-oval. Again, laps winding down here in stage number 1. Yes, playoff points are on the line. Stage points are on the line. But the big things at the end of the rainbow, at the end of 100 laps. And right now, everybody is still being mindful of that. Is now 1 lane inside. 4 or 5 trucks break single file, pulling away from Sanderson on the backstretch.
Yeah, low side's definitely the right side on the racetrack here tonight. 14 laps into this race. Justin White finds himself back up at the top of the grid. Brendan Broadfoot, though, he wants a piece of the action. He does not look comfortable in that second spot. Keeps moving that nose around to find another air bubble. We look at the rest of the grid there. Wesley Ryland Meza still in the mix. So is Jason Morales in that 5.
Back through the tri-oval, time running out here, 6 laps to go. As colleague Will Tiller mentioned, here in stage number 1. Right now, it is now Sanderson hung on the outside. Brady LaBeouf with a push. He'll get a kick in the shorts also from Raul Meza. While that happens, it's still tow. Single file, at least on the bottom with a conga line of trucks. No one jumps out of line and lets White lead the cavalry down the backstretch going to 3.
Exactly as you say, he leads the charge into 3 and 4. Justin White, though, better watch out as Cody Sanderson has a run into 3 and 4. He pulls out of line. That's going to kill that momentum that Brady LaBeouf was trying to build up, as Brendan Broadfoot's going to push the 2 off of 4. We're going to see this for the next couple laps, Wesley, but I expect fireworks here at the end of the stage.
Everybody right now looking at the flag stand. 5 laps to go here in stage number 1, and they are still do-si-doing side by side. Sanderson's Toyota picks up momentum, powers to the bottom of the White machine. Broadfoot will give a push to White. Here comes also Osborne. Here comes Toussaint. They all stay hungry on the bottom on the inside out of 2.
A little bit of a wiggle coming off of 2 here down the back stretch. You see Brendan Broadfoot thought about a low side pass there. Just can't get around. Justin White keeps moving to the middle as well, as now Justin White, Cody Sanderson are side by side for the race lead around 3 and 4.
Coming to the end here in stage number 1 here at Daytona, and right now the payout window is about to open up for points to determine what you're going to do in the playoffs. Bill Sanderson outside. He'll lead this lap. Yes, but Justin White powers back on the bottom. They are side by side. Too close to call. If it was Talladega going back to turn 1, now Sanderson with the lift on the outside. Here comes now Broadfoot with a shot on White in 2.
Such a clean, tight, but frantic stage number 1 here in the A's Lawn and Landscaping regular season finale. We're going to set our top 20 at the end of this race, Wesley, but it's so close to call heading into 3 and 4. Looks like Cody Sanderson, though, thought about a move to the low side of the racetrack. No, stays up at the top. We're getting side by side off of 4 for the race lead.
They might have been, at least for the time being, playing it nice in the opening 17 laps but not for now. 3 laps to go, and the racing has picked up. Drivers now fighting and clawing for any spot they can. Position gain, even one, is earned for the playoffs and the points as they work into turn number 2 with now White back in front.
Brandon Broadfoot keeps trying that nose around the 2 of Justin White. Can't find any opportunities. Ed Osborne's in a good spot behind that movement as well. You see a little bit of a tail off there at the end of this lead pack. Although, Wesley, we're still airtight. No change into position in 3 and 4.
Everybody hugs the bottom of the racetrack. They still stay below and not going over the double yellow-white line. It's Justin White hugging it. Right now, you see other trucks in the back. Watching now Barnett try to climb. He's now in the top 10. He's trying to get up there and make something happen. All the while, Jacob Reeves is off the pace, and here comes a battle for the lead. Here comes Sanderson on the outside, working with 2 to go. White will throw the block and go back up in front into 2.
As Brandon Broadfoot almost got squeezed in that danger zone lane there, that could have been disastrous for our leaders, as it looks like Brandon Broadfoot keeps trying that low side off the corner. Not going to work, though, as he's still stuck behind that 2 machine of Justin White, as Cody Sanderson and the 2 machine of Justin White, again, door to door into 3 and 4.
They might have been practicing virtual social distancing, but that's gone out the window now. Working out of turn number 3 and 4. They're coming to the line. 1 lap to go here in stage number 1. And here comes now Sanderson up the outside. He'll power his way alongside with White. Broadfoot got loose. He gave him a kick in the shorts up to the safer barrier. Sanderson loses ground. White licking his licks, chopping him on the bottom as he goes back to the lead. He's got help with Broadfoot. He's got Osborne. And they're pulling away out of 2.
Yeah, but you see the eagerness out of the 22 machine of Brandon Broadfoot. He wants to get around this too. He wants the stage win. Doesn't look like that opportunity is going to happen. That resume is going to get denied into 3 and 4. Justin White, Anderson side by side again into the apex.
Well, here they come again. Final time through the travel, storming off of turn number 4 back to the massive grandstand. Justin White gets a punch from Broadfoot. Sanderson's up on the outside. One more shot to get a push there from LaBeouf and Meza. It's not going to work. Justin White will come to the bottom of the line, take the caution flag for Serve Pro Yellow 1, and win stage 1 here in Daytona in the A's Lawn and Landscaping 250. Second spot to Brandon Broadfoot. Couple of bow ties now in 1 and 2. Sanderson third, Brady LaBeouf, Raul Meza, Ed Osborne, Joey Doucette, Tyler Daniels, Brian Chu, and Jonathan Wiley, your top 10. By the way, William Tiller, 7 Chevrolets, 3 Toyotas, no Fords in the top 10 at the end of stage 1.
What an absolutely beautiful stage there, Wesley. No Serve Pro caution flags. The field stayed about as tight as you can get it here at Daytona. We had a photo finish at the end of the stage. This race is absolutely amazing so far.
Let's go a word now before we go to break and grab Justin White, stage 1 winner. Justin, you know, I said last week that you have really improved as a driver. You're getting better. You're getting better. We're looking at some of the highlights here at the end of stage number 1 in the Grind Chevrolet. You powered your way to get the end of the stage. Look at how close it was at the start-finish line. Do you even realize how close it was on a photo finish to win first stage 1? And obviously still got a long way to go.
No, I knew that if I held the bottom right there, that they'd have to really form up to have a chance to kind of get up there and get around me. So force them to the outside and hopefully, have a decent pusher behind me to keep me up front. So that's what happened. Got her, I think, back at her 3rd stage point of the season, and we're up front. So that kind of puts us in a good spot for the playoffs getting into it, because we were 17 points to the good. Now that puts us even further ahead.
William Tiller.
Pretty tight race so far there, Justin. How do you keep that same pace without anything disastrous happening up at the top?
At the moment, I'm feeling pretty good. We got 10 stage points, which even if we finish dead last right now, based off what I got, that puts us 24th. Still a few points out. For me, feeling really, really comfortable, but at the moment, we just got to race smart, and we're pretty much in the playoffs now.
You said the word gotta race smart. Are you even thinking about what you need to do points-wise, counting them in your fingers on your hands when you get a chance to see what you need to calculate, or is it just go out there and run your race?
I'm counting, calculating, adding points. I mean, hands, toes, digits, hairs, you name it.
Well, Justin, thanks, buddy, for Brute Force Motorsports, your Stage 1 winner here at Daytona. Hey, we are going to reset. Let's take a break. When we come back, we will reset and go for Stage 2 for the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. Athens, Tennessee's Justin White, your winner of Stage 1, as we're also under our first Serve Pro caution of the race. From Daytona, this is the A's Lawn and Landscaping 250 on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. The restart on deck when we come back. Stage number 1 in the books for the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. Welcome back to coverage of the A's Lawn and Landscaping 250. I'm Wesley Outland. William Tiller is alongside. Adam Flieger is working on the production as always. And we're about to wrap up a Serve Pro caution. Fire, water, cleanup, and restoration. Serve Pro can take care of all of your needs. Of course, thanks to them being the caution sponsor. We also get ready for the Glass Mechanic Stage 2 here in the race. And William Tiller, as we were saying off mic, man, this is fun tonight here at Daytona. I love super speedway racing.
Oh, absolutely. This race has been fireworks from the beginning, and I think it's everything we talked about, Wesley, to kick off the broadcast, how this is it. This is it for a lot of these guys. If you don't make that top 20, yeah, you can race out those playoff races, but you're really racing for nothing but a win at that point. These guys want to stay in the money. They want to stay in that championship hunt, and to do that, you need a good run here tonight. And those first 20 laps or so showed us everything we need to see.
And by the way, the playoffs start next Monday night, and it'll be at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Field comes back to green, and we're back underway. Stage number 2, they got about 21 laps in stage 2. It's 45, lap 45 in the second stage. And right now, look at White with a big burst of momentum. Now, the top 4 trucks might be pulling away with Sanderson, Doucette, White, and Meza, but not for long. William, here comes the draft with Esborn, swallowing them up as they work the back straightaway.
Yeah, a bit of a weird restart there. Didn't get formed up until he came off with 2. Justin White now back in the lead position. He finds a new draft partner, though, in the 37 machine, Raul Meza. That Serve Pro machine has been cool so far in this race in that top 5 spot, and he's getting loose off of 4. Keeps it cool. He's calm, cool, collected as he crossed that start-finish line. 1 lap under good.
That could have been scatterbrained, but they all minded their P's and Q's. And right now, Brandon Broadfoot is on pit road. Something going on with the 22. One of the strong trucks in stage 1 in the front of the pack. Now way in the back as he's on pit road solo, and the leaders are at full song off 2.
Yeah, one of those drivers that needed a good run here tonight does not need any early issues. Justin White still leading the way, and there goes that man again. Better call yo mama. Our points leader, although got knocked off last week, Tyler Dittmer in that 34, trying to cruise into those championship races with a win.
Originally from York, Virginia, now from South Carolina, Tyler Dittmer now making his way up into the fight. He now climbs his way with his Toyota to the number 6 and 7 spot. Meanwhile, they're slicing and dicing, bobbing and weaving outside lane. Toyota Sanderson with a push by the Joker to set up the high lane. White will throw the block back on the bottom. He got loose and so did Smeza. They save their trucks working off too.
Oh, so nerve-wracking up here at the top. All these guys want to get up to the top of the grid. They have to be patient. They have to work with one another in this draft at Daytona. You have to keep everything in check. And right now, our leader on the top of that pylon will be Cody Sanderson, but there goes Justin White once again on the low side.
I think the word right now, Tiller, is controlled chaos. Right now, you've got to be able to control things that are in a chaotic moment, and that's exactly what they're doing. Sanderson now, biggest push with a punt from Doucette tonight. Brian Chu, by the way, he's up in the battle in the Toyota 51, and there's a little contact, and for the first time tonight, we're going 3 wide. Sanderson stuck like a hot dog, flying out of the bun. He's got to save the truck. Doucette to the bottom. Sanderson got loose. They're still making contact up to make it out of 2.
Oh my goodness gracious, right there, Mr. Wesley Outland. That race almost came crumbling down like pulling the wrong Jenga piece out of the tower. Everything almost came crashing down as Cody Sanderson got stuck in that danger zone lane. Everything flushed out, everything calm once again here on the racetrack.
What a major move by Sanderson. He could have got punted by a lot of trucks like the driver of Doucette and others, but meanwhile, they got right back in order. Here we go, conga line, 2 by 2. They do-si-do now up the banking. Here you climb them into 1. White now back to the inside. Meza with some help in that Serve Pro machine on the bottom out of 2.
Yeah, Joey Doucette finds himself on the top side lane, now being pushed from Cody Sanderson, who was in the lead. He finds himself having to put in some work. He is trying to work that back bumper of the 16. Rahul Meza is trying to do that to Justin White in that 2. Justin White very, very strong here tonight as things are getting hairy once again off the corner number 4.
Somehow, some way, trying to keep that momentum work on the bottom of the racetrack, and it is working now again for White's favor. Meanwhile, jumping out of lanes from the outside lane to the bottom lane is the 16th place truck. Steve Barnett with a bonsai move to the bottom. He wants to get in this fray and make it a big 16 truck battle for the lead. Doucette now clears by Sanderson. White still gets a punt by Meza. Osborne watching intently on the inside as they work off 2.
You also see Brian True in the mix in that 51. Also, Jose Luis Rivera is trying to creep inside the top 10 as we're counting down the laps here in stage number 2. These guys need all the stage points we can get. Oh my goodness! As Joey Doucette says, why so serious to Justin White on the low side. Throws that tail in front of the 2. Our new race leader, the Joker, off of 4.
Great piece of driving by not only Cody Sanderson and Brian Chu from the outside lane to get on the binders, but also for White and Meza to give way to Doucette. They could have turned him in the fence into the safer barrier, and it would have been all fair, love, and more because of that move. They gave him room. It's now closing in on 10 to go next time by lap truck. Look at Brandon Broadfoot into the hunt in stage 1, out of the dance in stage 2, and a lap down as the pack swallows him up on the backstretch.
As Brandon Broadfoot in that 22 machine will see his season go rolling by in the look of the leaders. The 22 season is all but wrapped up, but for our leader, Joey Doucette, Justin White, Raul Meza, one of these guys in this lead pack, Wesley, could be our first multi-time winner this season. We'll have to wait and see as Joey Doucette takes us across that start-finish line into 1.
The big dogs of Nazareth begin to growl. They storm their way back through the start-finish line, funnel back into turn 1. Jacob Reeves now with a daring move from the outside lane back to the bottom. He now sticks his nose in the top 13. Right now out of 2. Doucette now powers to the lead after that crazy move just a moment ago. Getting in front of White, getting in front of Sanderson, and he is leading them down the back stretch. Now we're starting to see him fan out 2 and 3 wide, but then just like that, they get back to side by side into turn 3.
Longer run here in stage number 2. We'll watch how that affects the trucks as we come off of the corner. Joey Doucette still our race leader down the front stretch. That's Justin White pushing him along. What you see, Wesley, we're getting a bit uncomfortable, a bit discombobulated on the racetrack, and all that bodes is caution flags. We'll wait and see as the Joker leads Gotham into 1.
It is now 8 laps to go here in stage number 2, presented by Glass Mechanic. Right now, the man leading the way is the Joker, Joey Doucette. Remember, he won that big event, part of the comic trade show at Nashville, one of the biggest wins of his career, the CCC 200. And now, Chris Kynes being passed. Look at what happens when you're not in the dance, when you're not in that draft of airspeed. It happened to Broadfoot, it happened to Chris Kynes, and they're working their way out of turn 4 to hold on with Doucette in front.
Doucette still holding on to that lead. As you see, everybody kind of bob and weave out of that draft. Coming off the corner, Joey Doucette takes us off across that start-finish line. You see some of these movers, though. Brian Chu in the mix. He's up 8 spots. Raul Meza's up there. And Jacob Klinkart, currently our top 10. He's up 15 spots on the drop of the green flag.
Brian Chu, I see you. That's what Sanderson's thinking inside of his rear mirror is right now. He's on the tailgate of the 14 Toyota right now, climbing up into the top 5. Now they begin to get organized, and when all that goes on, Justin White now in second, stage 1 winner in the 2 truck, trying to figure out a way to get around Doucette as they work into turn number 3.
As it's ever so tempting, you feel that truck sliding up into that middle lane. You have to remember somebody's on that top side. Any little bit of contact will send you sideways as you're starting to see these trucks play games on these drivers across the start-finish line. 11 laps to go here in stage number 2.
Again, going all the way to the end here to lap number 45. I think I'm about to jump the gun and said 8 laps to go, by the way, lap 40, but it actually is lap number 45. And yes, it is closing in on the final 10 laps. Meanwhile, Doucette is still holding his line, being patient. White in second. All of these guys right now, controlled chaos again. It got hectic at one time, like they were fighting for that last drink on the OK Corral. Now it is right now just kind of being patient and looking to get your chess pieces into play in formation to make that right move as we approach that 3rd stage here at Daytona.
Yeah, absolutely, Wesley. I think right now, we've got that big wreck in the lead pack. We'll see who's involved. It's going to be multiple trucks. Adam Newton is the 82 machine. We see sliding. A lot more trucks involved. Wesley, our first caution of the night.
We see truck scatterbrained working up through the tri-oval now. Our second Serve Pro caution, first for an on-track accident. And as I said, I thought they were minding their P's and Q's. Hashtag fake news. There it is. Osborne into some other trucks. And that's why we're under yellow, William.
Oh, and that's just hard impact. Adam Newton in the 82 machine. See the 33 come sliding across your screen as well. Taylor Peacock will be involved. Chris Blanchard in the 9. A lot of trucks just going to have residual damage from this, Wesley. And for Ed Osborne, just rocking inside the top 5 here tonight. Man, what I'm worried about is maybe some of those playoff drivers, those cut line drivers, getting some damage from this as well.
Well, caution out for the first time here with an accident on track. And I'll be honest with you, kind of looking at it again, Adam Flieger, if you want to give us another replay, probably from the aerial view. I don't think, I think it's net. I think there was net code here, honestly, William. I think there was some type of I think it was some type of a interference with the signal. Let's see here. I mean, no, that's just too far away. We can't see from that angle. We need to go above with the trucks that crashed with Osborne and the other ones, because Osborne was the guy that kind of got shot first in the safer barrier. We need to go with the 28, and let's go up above the aerial view here. And I say net code. I think there's a net code here that caused this accident, William Tiller.
Yeah, let's check it out here. See if there was any.
I
close. Man, and that's just so close there, Wesley.
Maybe we can get a replay from the truck of behind the tailgate, not from so high up in the air. That might be able to tell the tale better here.
And I think whether it was net code or not there, and this is the perfect shot right here.
Yeah, this is probably going to tell the tale right here. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
close.
man. It's up right there for Osborne.
But
And
it's
nowhere
the style
to
of racing
go.
we've seen all race, Wesley. Just very tight, very close to one another.
Yeah, nowhere to go for the 5 either. Jason Morella's in the fence,
Oh.
man. Oh, Morella's. There you see all these other guys like the 33 spinning. Adam Newton, obviously. We'll get ready to settle them up for a restart here. Drivers involved in that accident looked like Ed Osborne, Jason Morales, possibly Kerry Tribute, Jeffrey Johnson Jr. Torrey Thompson got a piece of it, so did Donnie Lyons. And that is why we go under the caution flag here for the second time, if you count, obviously, the end of stage 1. And that is what just took place here. So, wow. And I'll be honest, William, I don't think we're done yet. I think this is just the start of it, brother.
No, absolutely. And I was just taking a peek at the points there. You know, you're looking at the battle between Jose Luis Rivera. He was only one spot out of that top 20 coming into this race. And then you have the likes of, and looking at the top of the grid, Brian True holds that 20th spot. He's currently inside the top 5, Wesley. You know, Brian keeps this run he has going on here tonight. He could lock in that top 20, and no matter what, you know, Jose does, he could lock it in here in stage number 2.
By the way, trying to check things out here with timing and scoring, and I believe Brandon Broadfoot will, no, they're saying Steve Barnett is a lap down, but I think we're waiting for timing and scoring to update here. I was going to say unofficially Brandon Broadfoot would go back on the lead lap and get the lucky dog. Everyone else will go for the wave around that are a lap down or more. I believe unofficially this will put Brandon Broadfoot, William Tiller back on the lead lap. Well, okay, I guess I'm understanding, I guess, from NASRA that nobody got a lucky dog, I guess. I don't know. I guess somebody was multiple laps down. Everybody was multiple laps down, so they went for the wave around. Right now they're showing Steve Barnett with 1 lap down, Torrey Thompson 1 lap down, who just came off the pit lane. And unofficially, Brandon Broadfoot is 2 laps down. Chris Kynes, Tyler Daniels also. So I guess nobody was 1 lap down, William Tiller, and they got... They took the opportunity for the wave around, but not the free pass. No lucky dog for anybody.
Man, it's going to be all these crazy strategic moves here towards the end, Wesley. And as we creep up towards another green flag, this was only our first caution of the night, only on-track caution of the night, Wesley. And I think we're going to see some more airtight racing here towards the end of stage number 2.
And I think all this did was just made it more intense as the field will come back to under 10 laps to go in stage number 2 here in the A's Lawn and Landscaping 250 at Daytona. Serve Pro Caution in the books. Back to green flag. Who will be the Glass Mechanic Stage 2 winner at Daytona? It's Doucette up to speed through the gearboxes behind Sanderson, behind White, and they work their way back to 1. Caution is over.
Joe Doucette taking his time on the low side of the racetrack. Justin White up there in that 2. Raul Meza's pushing him along on the high side. They're off of 2 down the backstretch. Everybody's getting up to speed, letting those Goodyear Eagles fly down the backstretch right now into 3 and 4. We're side by side for the race lead.
Joey Doucette right now to the inside. He'll work his way off the corner. Sanderson right there behind him. Will give him a little punt. Then it's going to be White on the outside lane. Raul Meza, Brian Chu, and now another name up in the battle. Tyler Dittmer, Jacob Klinkhart. We're not under caution. We're under green, and they're at full speed back into turn number 1.
Justin White comes low side on the racetrack, almost makes contact with Joey Doucette, who's there as well. Justin White back up at the top of the grid, and surprisingly, Wesley, coming into this race, Justin finds himself the low end of that top 20. A win here tonight will get that mojo flowing in the right direction. So there's a lot of work to do, though, as we're 3 wide on the backstretch.
Back straight away, feel that speed down into turn number 3. Ignore the Surf Pro caution logo on the top. They're at speed, making their way into the corner. Into turn number 3. Meza now powers to the outside. He'll look for the lead. Sanderson stuck 3 wide again. He goes to the outside and finds a way to clear away from those trucks into the tri-oval. And now Meza will take Harry Dittmer up on the outside. White will stay hugged to the bottom with Doucette. And now also Clinkhart back to 1.
Yeah, Raul Meza, the Surf Pro machine, gets a lot lead underneath his belt, but there goes the Grinds machine, who's just grinding it out here tonight. Justin White takes us off at 2 as the race leader, but here comes that train rolling around the bend as Raul Meza is going to get a big push from Tyler Dittmer in that 34 machine. He said, folks, I know my name might have moved from the number 1 in the power rankings, but I'm trying to get it right back there here tonight as the 34 trying to inch his way to the front.
Right now, outside lane working for the first time in a while here at Daytona. 5 laps to go here in stage number 1. And no! Dittmer turns Meza. Meza crashes. He spins into the pack. Somehow Dittmer got away. Other trucks are wrecking. And the caution will come out. Clinkhart at the bottom of the apron. So is also Chris Blanchard. And another Surf Pro caution here at the end of stage number 2. A draft, a bump, a shot. Something went wrong. Dittmer into Raul Meza. He's crashed and caution is out for, ironically, a Surf Pro caution on the Surf Pro 37 at Daytona.
I'm going to have to let the replay speak for itself there, Wesley. That's tough right there. We're going to have to look at it from another angle. The 37's on the top side. Justin White on the low side of the racetrack. It
looked like Sanderson. It looked like Sanderson gave a punt to Dittmer. Dittmer got into Meza. Then Dittmer got into Sanderson's driver door. And here we go again. Let's put this in slow-mo for you one more time. You see the 14 of Sanderson. That's the black and white 14 Toyota. And he is behind the truck of Dittmer. Dittmer's the truck up in front. There you see Sanderson's tailgate. This is Meza, the leader. There you see the contact. Dittmer into Meza, into the safer barrier. Then Dittmer slammed into Sanderson. Clinkhart and Blanchard then spinning in the bottom of the grass right there. You see them in the bottom of the apron. And man, oh man. I feel bad for Raul Meza. It seems like this good luck, bad luck continues for the California driver here, William.
Absolutely, and I hope Raul Meza is going to be okay on points in that 37 machine. Was currently 17th coming into this race, so I think he may have done enough there in stage number 1 to get some points. Also let a lap there, whatever points those count for. But I think you just touched on it there, Wesley. For the 37 machine, he finds himself in the top 5, was leading there here in stage number 2. I mean, just another heartbreaking end to a race, and now has to maybe stumble into those playoffs at the very end of that grid. Just going to be a tough road for the 37 moving forward.
Believe it or not, let's go to pit road. Pit stops are happening. Almost everybody is on pit road before the end of stage number 2. I can't believe it. Well, there's some aerial views of the racetrack, but I'm telling you, William Tiller, almost everybody in the top 30 are on pit road having pit stops. There's your live feed. Who's going to come out first? Ron Hunter, but I don't think he pitted. He pitted on lap 35. He is now the new leader, Ron Hunter from the Northwest. Cole Hendrickson is now going to be second. He beat Blake Lothian off pit road. And William, Blake Lothian's been kind of quiet tonight here at Daytona in pit road. Now he's in third.
Yeah, coming off a fun race on Friday night in our Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. Top 5 in that race. Had a little incident there towards the end of the race that really knocked out his chances. And Wesley, what I'm really looking at, though, here, we talked about the top 20 in points.
Yeah,
we just had a complete reshuffle of the grid there in the top 10. There's
really
nobody that was in those first couple of stages that are now back inside the top 10. You look at the tail end of that, Justin White is in 7th. And other than that, Joey Doucette in 10th. I mean, this is a whole new top 10.
Yeah, new names including Ron Hunter, Cole Henriksen, Blake Lothian, Zach Hartwick, Hunter Parsons, Robert Richards from South Carolina, Taylor Peacock, and by the way, that's the first Ford unofficially that's got himself into the top 10 tonight. Jose Luis Rivera, and then Jacob Reeves, we mentioned him a time or two climbing the top 10, but he's still back in 11th. Brady LaBeouf, 12th. Here's the deal, and it kind of reminds me of last night's Southern 500 trying to end stage 2, ironically stage 2 for this race as well. How much time do they have? They're getting ready to come to the line. It'll be lap number 43, so it's 2 laps to go here in stage number 2. If they come around this time by, the lights go off on the pace car, they'll get the one to go. They're gonna have at least 1 or 2 laps to race here to the end of the stage, no doubt, William Tiller.
And that's going to be huge for a lot of these guys.
And that's exactly what's about to happen.
Yeah, and you want to crack inside the top 10 here at the end of the stage. You want to snag as many points as possible. Even if you're inside that cut line, you want to make sure you're good to go here at the end of this race.
Right now, ready for the field to stack them back up. Look, is that Brandon Broadfoot? Bottom of the racetrack, it is the 22. Broadfoot, let's see where he is currently right now. Brandon Broadfoot still 2 laps down in the 30th position. Matter of fact, while we're under caution and we're getting ready for the restart, let's give you at least the top 20. Ron Hunter is the leader now. Cole Henriksen is in 2nd. Blake Lothian 3rd. Zach Hartwick 4th. Robert Richards is 5th. Hunter Parsons 6th. Taylor Peacock 7th. First Ford, as I mentioned now, to get into the top 10 after after the pit stops. Justin White 8th. 9th is Jose Luis Rivera. Joey Doucette, William Tiller, your top 10.
And looking at Brady LaBeouf in 11th. Jacob Reeves in 12th. Brandon Bullock in 13th, Lance Miller 14th, Chris Blanchard 15th, Ryan Hughes 16th, Donnie Lyons 17th, Kerry Tribune 18th, rounding out our top 20, Cody Sanderson and Jacob Klinkard.
Adam Newton 21st, Ed Osborne 22nd, Joey Steyer's quiet night for him in 23rd in truck 23, Nate Maurer in 24th, Jeffrey Johnson Jr., Tyler Dittmer top 25, as well as Jason Morales. Those are your top 27 on the lead lap. Chris Kynes a lap down in 28th, Jonathan Wiley 29th, Brandon Broadfoot 2 laps down in 30th, followed by Torrey Thompson, Raul Meza, Steve Barnett, Tyler Daniels. The full field rundown as the field is getting ready to come back to the Geico restart zone here in the A's Lawn and Landscaping 250, ready for a restart as the field will look for the green flag. It will be a 1-lap shootout to determine who will be the money man here in the Glass Mechanics Stage 2. Back up to speed, green flag back in the air. Here as that wraps up another Serve Pro caution. Fire Warner cleanup and restoration back underway. Ron Hunter leads them into turn number 1.
Yeah, Ron Hunter, our momentary leader there at the top of the grid. He is battling old equipment, though. He's going to be under fire by the likes of Blake Lothian as well as Cole Hendrickson up there as well. As we come off the corner and down the backstretch, we'll see who can get this stage win.
Field back up to speed. Caution is over, as we said, down the back straightaway. Ron Hunter now is the leader. He's trying to get himself some stage points as they work their way up the banking. Almost 3 wide. Look in the middle. Blake Lothian slammed like a rag doll on the outside, on the inside. Meanwhile, they come storming to the line. Ron Hunter on the inside, holding on to that momentum as they look for the caution here at the end of stage number 2. Give it to Ron Hunter. That might be his first stage win ever, as he's got to hold on at least 1 more lap if he can into turn 1. But right now, Parsons wants to go to the lead in 2.
Yeah, Parsons with a huge run on the top side, being pushed along by Blake Lothian in that 43. Here comes Robbie Richards as well on that 48 machine. He leads also on that top side of the racetrack. They're going to go flying by Ron Hunter. A little 3-for-1 action there. Hunter Parsons going to get bumped by Blake Lothian into 3 and 4.
Yeah, just like that, Ron Hunter looking to try to win the stage, and he came up a lap shy. Now he falls back to 3rd or 4th. Here comes Hunter Parsons, the cheesehead. Blake Lothian from Massachusetts looking inside, outside. They won't do anything. Checkered flag, green and white checkered flag at the end of stage number 2, and you can give it to Hunter Parsons. Hunter Parsons will win stage number 2, but it looks like actually William Tiller, they're going to keep racing. I wish we'd get rid of the caution logo. We're still green flag racing here. We're going right into stage number 3, and the race continues here. I guess they decided not to throw a caution.
Yeah, no caution on the racetrack here as you see some drivers pulling out of line. Check out you see what's happening here as right now into 3 and 4 the action continues. A lot of drivers pulling out of line there, Wesley. Very uncomfortable in that draft. Coming down the backstretch here. Now coming off of 4, we have some new players as Taylor Peacock will take us across the start-finish line.
So we're being informed by NASCAR that because of that big accident that happened there in the tri-oval, they decided to make that be the official end of stage number 2. Hello, we didn't get the memo till now. That would have been better information for the broadcast. And right now we go right into stage number 3. Richards is now the leader. Peacock on the outside. Here comes White. Doucette. These guys are now door to door, and this is the run for the money in stage 3 down into turn 3.
Yeah, for the folks listening at home, that stage was called in that last wreck. We didn't know about it up here in the booth. We didn't let y'all know about it at home as well as Taylor Peacock takes us off of 4. He's being pushed along by Robbie Richards. Makes sense why everybody headed down pit road last time, Wesley, as now we're creeping up towards the halfway point here in the regular season finale.
Yeah, just wish there was a little bit more better communication with NASCAR, kind of like NASCAR to the broadcast booth, the same with NASCAR, to let us know what's going on so we don't sound like idiots. Right now, Joey Doucette, he's the leader. He powers to the bottom of the racetrack. He's got help now with Peacock. Richards on the outside. Look at this move now. Here comes Peacock with Blanchard on the bottom. Truck pushed out of line. Below the yellow line is Richards. He's hung out to dry. He'll fall back. He's got to get in line somewhere in 3.
New race leader. I just saw that move as we head into 3 and 4. Zach Hartwick now leads the way in that 71 machine. We have lead changes happening like Uno reverse cards here at the top of the grid. You also see Chris Blanchard in that 9. Where did he come from in this race? Wesley, is they're going to go door to door into 1.
And remember, Klinkhardt had a problem whenever him and Blanchard had got together. All of this going on here when they come to the line. It is Zach Hartwick now inside. Blanchard on the outside. Doucette now right in the fight again. He'll power to the inside, back out of 2.
Coming off of 2, we're still door to door for the race lead. Starting to see some trucks come out of line off of corner number 2. It's everybody just trying to keep their cool here, Wesley. They know there's going to be at least one more pit stop there towards the end. Some trouble, though, for Justin White in that 2.
Yeah, Justin White, something happened to him. The grinds machine fell all the way back inside the top 15. He is now behind this gaggle of trucks as they work through the tri-oval. Back across the line. Hartwick is the leader. It's the first time we've mentioned his name. Blanchard on the outside as they work into 1.
Blanchard, Hartwick are top 2 on the racetrack, but you see how tight it is if you're watching along with us here in the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Lap truck of Jason Morales on the top side. That's the 5 right there. A little bit of a wiggle from the field to get around the 5 machine as we're down the backstretch here at Daytona. Our top 20 is going to be solid here in about 50 laps as it's Chris Blanchard and Zach Hartwick into 3 and 4.
Yeah, Kyle Hess, I don't mean to argue with you, buddy, but there's been a couple of races we've worked where literally there's been 2 or 3 laps in a stage and they actually finished the stage before the caution. So maybe not for Super Speedway but other races, but yeah, right now we're watching this work through the tri-oval. Hartwick, the 71. This guy has really come along here in the last month, if you'd say, William. He got himself a win, I believe, on the Friday night series. I think he won a Monday night race as well. He is right now showed his strengths on the bottom of the racetrack. He's going after Doucette and Blanchard off 2.
Yeah, he's got to hold that pace, though, as you saw the 9 machine of Chris Blanchard drift down the racetrack just a little bit. Let that 71 machine that he is right there and still working for that lead. Joey Doucette, though, has been headstrong inside the top 5, top 3 all race along on the top side, being pushed along by that Blanchard towing machine of Chris Blanchard. Off of 4, though, we have a drag race down the front stretch for the race lead.
Now this going on now as they storm back through the tribal, back to the outside lane. Here comes Doucette, and now trucks are going to get organized again on the outside lane, just like on the bottom. Here comes Hardwick on the inside. Doucette to the outside. Peacock, Blanchard. Here comes Lothian. He's got help on the top side as well. Look at this man now, Ed Osborne. William Tiller, he was in the fence 30 laps ago. He is now fighting for stage 3 in the win in the 3.
You got to keep it together, though, as Ed Osborne is fighting back up through the grid, finds himself on the fast lane. That is the top side right now, just trying to get that front bumper lash onto the back bumper of Chris Blanchard off the corner right now. Wesley, this race couldn't be any closer here down the front stretch.
Got to work their way back through the tri-oval, and by the way, we are now officially just a couple of laps after halfway. The run to the payout window is on. 46 laps to go in the A's Lawn and Landscaping 250. But more importantly, here at Daytona, the Fast 20, the 20 drivers for the playoffs, they call them the Sweet 20, will make it in when it's all said and done. Right now, everyone fighting, clawing for any spot they can, but they're right now toe-to-toe, one by one, side by side, into the banking into 3, and no one is playing out of line just yet. We're all being possum and looking, waiting intently to find that move to be that first truck to win off turn 4.
Yeah, you're looking at some guys here in the mix. Blake Lothian back in the swing of things. He finds himself in the 6th spot. Ed Osborne just moved into 4th. You see Jose Luis Rivera. He is up to 10th there, Wesley. That 20 machine is trying everything he can to get that 20 into those championship races. Coming off the corner, though, still the Joker ruling Gotham as Chris Blanchard's right behind him.
Yeah, look out down to the inside. Here comes now that nemesis on the bottom of Doucette the Joker. It's going to be Hartwick. He's the Cape Crusader now on the bottom. He's got help with Peacock. Peacock's got Lothian. They're in tow. Outside lane. Doucette, Blanchard, Osborne, Broadfoot, by the way, into this battle, but a lap down truck in the pack out of turn number 4.
Yeah, that's going to be demoralizing for that 22 machine of Brad Broadfoot coming into some lap traffic. Things got a little sketchy there for the field, Wesley. A little crazy into 1.
Yeah, it certainly did, man. Those lap trucks really going inside and outside, and we got trouble. Broadfoot's in the fence. He just got turned by a lap truck, got turned by some other trucks. That looks like the 33 just got into him as well into turn number 1, and this will send another Serve Pro caution flag out. Problems. Brandon Broadfoot, we mentioned him already 2 laps down, or at least 1 lap down in the pack, fighting with guess who? Jeffrey Johnson, William Tiller. He was also a lap down. They were fighting to get the lucky dog, and caution comes out involving both trucks into turn 1.
And I'm trying to see if the 2 machine of Justin White may have taken some damage from this as well. Watch along here on this on the pole instant replay. We see a little
that's Joey Stiers. Now you need to find the 22 Adam Fligger. Brandon Broadfoot. Yeah, Maurer. Stiers luckily got through it. Here we go. Oh, let's see what happened here, William. Remember, Broadfoot and Johnson both lap down in the pack with the leaders, and those are the trucks beside one another. Oh man, Broadfoot just turned up in front of the left front. Johnson had nowhere to go, William. I think that's Broadfoot's fault, man.
That's tough.
Wow.
That's for the 22, you mentioned it, they're already a lap down. Season's pretty much wrapped up there. Playoff hopes are probably dashed. And you see it right here in the middle of the racetrack. He's going to come up, drift up just a little bit, as you mentioned. That might be a little bit of that iRacing situation.
Netcode again, though. I will say this. Even if it is netcode, it did look like William Tiller, that Brandon Broadfoot was in a desperate move, and he was going to go to the outside and try to pull up in front of Johnson. I mean, I'm calling it like I see it. There might have been some netcode, maybe some internet problems, but honestly, I think he was committed to show that he was going to go to the outside lane. Wow. Did a tough break.
Absolutely. As we're under the Serve Pro caution flag here, Wesley.
And they're pitting. They're pitting, William. We're pitting again.
I was just about to ask, do you think the leaders will head down? And they will here. They'll go ahead and cut that last pit stop and get it out of the way.
While we got a break of the action, let's try to grab. Who do I want to talk to? Who do we want to talk to? Let's see here. Let's grab Misfit Motorsports, Joey Doucette. He has been amongst all of this chaos all night long. Joey Doucette, it seems like it's a storm brewing out there at Daytona. How you holding out, Joker?
I'm holding. That's some nasty racing there. A couple big wrecks. I'm glad I was up front and missed them all in the back. But all in all, it's been a good night for this Misfits Chevrolet here, and can't wait to see what the rest of it comes out tonight.
It does seem like, though, Joey, that the anticipation of obviously the chaos has really hit here in this last probably, I don't know, 20 laps for sure. And I think it's just going to be boiled over by the time we go to the finish.
Yeah, I mean, it was really clean, really stage one, stage two. I just don't know what we're doing out here. It was really good. I want a green flag pit stop to make it more exciting. So for the fans and you guys that are doing this. So hopefully we can get a green flag run here and mix it up a little bit.
William Tiller.
Yeah, Joey, as Harry's has been getting there at the top of the grid, are you feeling any extra pressure up there, or are you just looking towards those playoff races?
It is not a lot of pressure up there. I mean, if you can control the line, I had my teammate on the bottom there, so we controlled the top and the bottom with Blanchard pushing. So we'll see if we can continue to do that. I got Blanchard behind me. I don't know where the rest of my teammates are, but we're gonna just try to maintain that and try to get a W here.
Always great catching up with you, Joey. What would it mean to put the 16 in the playoffs?
I think I'm already points in, but I would like to have a win for more playoff points. But yeah, it would mean a lot, especially at Daytona. I'm usually no good here and usually get caught up in the wreck in like stage 2. So I'm glad I'm still here.
Yeah, I retract my previous statement. Hell, you're already locked in. Just give it hell.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna try.
For Misfit Motorsports, ladies and gentlemen, that's Joey Doucette. And yes, he is one of the 20 drivers, William Tiller, that is locked into the playoffs. Real quickly, Adam Flieger, show the board, if you don't mind, of the drivers that are in the points. If you got to win, you're in. And those drivers include Tyler Zitmer, Adam Newton, Joey Stiers, Nathan Maurer, Robbie Richards, Brady LaBeouf, Zach Hartwig, Jose Luis Rivera. And here's the deal. I will say this. I know it says Joey Doucette's in 12th, but I think he got a win, but it ain't been documented yet. But William Tiller, I will say this, though. When you know you got a win, you will race differently than other people that are desperate. And desperate people will do things that they're not going to do because they want to get that win. So you got a mixture of ingredients for chaos and mayhem down the stretch, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also touched on it to start off this race here. We've seen no multiple winners this season other than the likes of Blake Lothian, who's still up here inside the top 10 right now. But for these full-time drivers, nobody has won multiple races. So what a confidence boost that would be going to those championship races as well.
Yeah, I mean, besides Blake Lothian, who has 3 wins, he's not a full-time competitor, if you will, on the NASCAR Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. And by the way, Wings and Things coming on board as a sponsor for him. He's got a Twitch channel where you can be able to go on board and see what he's doing racing, as well as here in the broadcast booth. We're ready for a restart. That will wrap up another Serve Pro Caution presented by Serve Pro. Fire, water, cleanup and restoration, and 40 to go at the World Center of Racing when they go to green, back into turn number 1. Doucette up the banking into turn 1. He'll quickly go back to the bottom of the racetrack. White will follow, and it'll take about a lap or 2 for them, William Tiller, to get back up the full song. And by the way, a correction, not White, it's Blake Lothian, and everybody quickly getting to the inside of the racetrack down into turn 3.
Yeah, dream restart there for Joey Doucette in the 16 with Blake Lothian in the 43 right behind him. There's nobody up there so far. The top side lane hasn't reached them. It's a single file lane all the way around the racetrack right there. Off of 4, you see that Nokia snake line goes down to about the 7th position on the racetrack as we're 1 lap on the green.
Yeah, it's like open wheel cars at Indianapolis, snaking and funneling their way down the short chute through the long straightaway at the greatest spectacle in racing. The same thing happening here at the World Center of Racing. Drivers now trying to cut the draft, cut the air on one another, and it's Doucette leading the cavalry down the super stretch off two.
Joey Doucette trying to lock in a W here tonight, has a long way to do it as you're starting to see some formation on the top side of the racetrack. You see that train coming there, needs more help if they want to try to lead a charge there. Looks like Lance Miller, Tyler Dittmer are going to be part of that pack, but back up here at the top, so Joey Doucette leading the way.
Understanding on the damage clock is Raul Meza having to get a new engine. He's on pit road. He'll be ready to go back on racetrack. He is back on track now. 38 laps to go. We are in the home stretch of the race here tonight at Daytona. There you see him on pit road, and all of this going on now, working off of turn number 2. Joey Doucette, the Joker. You just heard his thoughts. He wants to win. He's in the playoffs, but he wants to be a winner at Daytona.
Yeah, he's in a good position to do it there on the low side of the racetrack. Finds Blake Lothian in that 43. He's been one of the best drivers here the last couple of weeks in NASCAR, whether it's in the Friday night series or Monday night series. Just hasn't seen victory lane as much as he would like, in a prime position to do so right now in the second spot off the corner.
Back got a turn 4. They come back storming through the tri-oval, this time by another lap led by Joey Doucette. It's Lothian, it's Blanchard, Sanderson, Hendrickson, now your top 5, and they've climbed their way back in the battle, and they're on the inside of the racetrack out of turn number 2.
Yeah, where'd the 17 truck of Brad Bullock come from? He finds himself right there in the sixth position, up 24 spots from the drop of the green flag. You're seeing these top 5 separate, but there's a lot of movers and shakers behind that 5th position.
All these guys holding their line. Joey Doucette, now look at Blanchard. He wants to go to the outside lane. The Blanchard's towing house machine number 9. Powers to the top side. That Toyota trying to get momentum and trying to get something started with a second lane up on the outside. Now drivers come with him. That's in the likes of Hendrickson. Hendrickson's got Dittmer with him, right back in the battle with Parsons, Tribune, Clinkhart, Barnett, Morales. They all go to the outside and says, I'll help you, brother, back to 1.
Yeah, right now that top side, it took them a few laps to get going, but once those sails started coming and the wind started pushing them, they are sailing their way to the top of the grid right now. Shout out to Jimmy Buffett, because it is 5 o'clock somewhere for those guys on the top side. They'll be in the lead in no time.
Come Monday, it'll be all right. It's a Monday night. They're looking for the win here in Daytona. And right now, Blake Lothian doing what he needs to do. Storming off turn number 4. Blanchard, Hendrickson, look at them bobbing and weaving like in a squared circle. We're boxing to the checkered flag as they work through the travel into 4.
A little bit of sweet signs at the top of the grid. Blake Lothian now leads the way in that 43 truck. Chris Blanchard right there. Cole Hendrickson has just been a sneaky sneak inside the top 5, now trying to race his way to the lead. Huge push out of Joey Doucette on the low side, and right now Henderson is our new race leader off the corner.
The Chevrolet, Cole Hendrickson now up in the middle lane. Doucette wants to stay to the bottom. Lothian now with a help from Blanchard and Dittmer. He goes to the outside lane. Hendrickson powers on his own in the middle. He'll pull up in front of Dittmer to go to the bottom, and Lothian will go to the inside from the top out of 4.
What is even happening right here at the top side of the grid? We're seeing movers and shakers, people pulling out of line. As you see, there's almost contact right there between Sanderson and Hendrickson. They're on the front stretch. We're 3 wide. Oh no, there's contact.
Lothian.
Oh no.
Lothian spins, bottom of the apron, and he saved it! Oh my goodness, he saved it! Truck stays in line. He got sideways, stays on the gas, and will still stay green out of 2.
What is going on right here at Daytona? Down the backstretch, Blake Lothian leading the way right now. Chris Blanchard's in that spot as he pulls out of line. He takes Tyler Dittmer to the top side of the racetrack. They're going to try to make a move on a tandem that is now Blake Lothian and Joey Doucette off of 4. What is happening here in this regular season finale?
Save of the night for Blake Lothian, and somehow still stays in the battle All of this going on as they go back into the corner. He's battling back for the lead. All of this going back into turn number 1 now. Blanchard on the outside. Dittmer, Doucette, all going. Here you go. The gloves are off as we approach 30 to go in Daytona.
You can tell that these trucks are getting a little squirrely on the drivers, a little bit more of that bouncing, a little bit of that bobbing and weaving that Wesley was talking about. Coming off of 2, here comes that field roaring down the backstretch into 3 and 4. We're back to John Forrest drag racing as right now our leader Blake Lothian takes in the corner.
Lothian with an amazing save. Cody Sanderson also with an amazing save, and he is now trying to get back in the dogfight. Right there in the battle with the top 10. Lothian leads them off of turn number 4. Down to the start-finish line. Here comes a punt there by Doucette. Mesa now looking inside and outside, looking at Kerry Tribune. What a run for the 7 Chevrolet back into 1.
Yeah, Kerry Tribune currently up 17 spots on the drop of the green flag, but our biggest mover of the race so far is Blake Lothian, up 21 spots from the drop of the green flag. He currently finds himself in that penthouse position. Joey Doucette, though, the Joker, is trying to pull a trick out of his sleeve here down the backstretch, and there goes that Joker card as he goes to the top side of the racetrack. He'll find Chris Blanchard up there, see if he makes a move for the lead off of 4.
2 by 2, stride for stride, working off the banking here at Daytona off of turn number 4. Back to the tri-oval. Everyone still continues to hold their line, getting loose in the back behind the top 10, but they still get back in forward momentum. Lothian on the bottom. Doucette will follow. All of this goes on as they climb the banking back into turn number 1.
Still airtight there at the top side of the grid, watching some shakers on the low side of the top 10. Ed Osborne now back inside. Cody Sanderson has slid. Hunter Parsons right there as well. Jacob Klinkart is in the mix, up 18 spots in the drop of the green flag. But you see it here down the backstretch. These guys are getting antsy now with 31 laps to go into 3 and 4.
Back at it again into turn 3, bottom of the racetrack. Blake Lothian, he had amazing save along with Sanderson and others to stay in this fight. Below the apron, now they come off turn 4. Lothian is the leader. He's got Doucette on the outside now, but here comes Kerry Tribune. Where did the 7 truck come from? Here comes Peacock also up in the battle in the 81 going to turn 1.
The smallest mistake could mean your season is over at this point. With 31 laps to go here in the regular season finale, we talked about what it means to be inside the top 20. You get a little extra payout. Even if you don't perform well in those playoff races, you'll still be top 20 in the season. You want to make sure you lock your truck in for Joey Doucette, though. He's going to lose a lot of spots on the top side of the racetrack, though. He finds Sanderson now trying to link up, get those spots back.
Yeah, Doucette hung like a rag doll up on the outside lane, and now he has got to find a way to get back to the inside, or at least find a way to slither his way back into that spot. Peacock also just got the short end of the stick. He got hung on the outside, but help's coming. Here comes Doucette with a big burst of speed on the outside lane. Sanderson also gobbles him up on the outside out of turn 2. Tailgate to tailgate, they're back on the speed, but they're losing ground on Lothian out of the corner.
Yeah, it looked like it actually surprised the 81 machine of Taylor Peacock how fast they came on that back bumper. They'll gain some speed here down the backstretch, see if it'll be enough to make a move for the lead. You see that here at Daytona, what that looks like. Looks like they'll find right there at the top side, Jacob Klinkart. Where did he come from, Wesley? Up 22 spots from the drop of the green flag. He could be battling for the lead here off the corner.
I remember last time we mentioned Jacob Klinkart, the blue Uno machine was in almost an accident there in the tri-oval. Now he has put his truck into Uno number 1. Meanwhile, Lothian battles back. It's Klinkart leading at Daytona with under 30 to go.
Jacob Klinkart will take the field to the low side of the racetrack. Taylor Peacock will fall on that 81 machine. Here with just a few laps to go. This is where you want to be in this race. This is where you want to be in the regular season finale. Jacob Klinkart leads the charge into 3 and 4.
Remember what happened with Broadfoot and Johnson lap trucks in the lead pack. There was calamity in the tribal. Now Ron Hunter, at one time who led after an exchange of green flag pit stops, he didn't pit. The end of stage number 2 is now one of those trucks fighting to stay on the lead lap. He's in that pack, and we got trouble. They're wrecking. Dittmer's wrecked. It looks like it might be Meza in the fence. Also, Kerry Tribune looks like he got a piece of it. The number 7 is that Osborne or Klinkhart pulling away. He'll stay in second. Caution out. Oh, boy, we got to see what happened here. It happened in the tri-oval.
Yeah, Wesley kind of caught us off guard up here in the booth. We were kind of checking our stats and everything. All of a
That's
sudden,
the previous caution, Adam. Adam, that's the previous caution. You're showing the caution from the last time.
Caution on the racetrack here as we wait to see what brought out that caution flag. And Wesley, it's going to be quite the shakeup here towards the end of the race, and see if we got it here.
We need to catch the 34 Tyler Dittmer's truck. That's what we need to find, because it all happened to him and some others. And there you see it, William Tiller. Oh, man. Oh, it's so dang blurry. I can't figure out the truck number.
It looks like he might have just been friendly fire there, the 34 Tyler Dittmer.
Is that Kerry Tribune? Kerry Tribune into Tyler Dittmer and another truck that's got a, it might be, I can't tell. It's so blurry. Hang on a minute.
Check it out here as you're watching the replay here. On
there's Jonathan Wiley. Jonathan Wiley turned Kerry Tribune. Tyler Dittmer had nowhere to go. Tyler Dittmer did get caught up in the accident.
Right there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, Tyler.
Make the escape.
Hey, listen, I got to give credit to Tyler Dittmer. He kept it from heading firewall deep into the safer barrier, and he bonsai'd glancing blow off the right rear end the wall. So that might keep Dittmer in this race.
Yeah, but it looks like the entire field will use this as their last pit stop.
Funny stop.
As we're checking out this caution flag instant replay. I'm watching the field head down pit road.
Oh, Ron Hunter, there you go again, another lap down truck. Another again, lap down truck in the pack, and oh, geez. Oh, man. We are going to take a break like they're taking a break as they're making pit stops. Strap in the final quarter of the race in Daytona to determine your Fast 20 for the playoffs. Is going to be wild, and it continues on the A's Lawn and Landscaping 200. Nazareth 360 Racing Network. We'll be back in just a moment. Something to TJ when we got off the air, I can promise you that. We are back. Daytona. Oh, this is going to be a good one. We are coming to the end of this one. It is 75 laps in when they come to the line. 27 laps to go right now. William Tiller, I'm Wesley Outland. TJ Morris, the race director. Adam Flieger is doing a phenomenal job on the production. And William, fireworks galore as we wrap up another Serve Pro caution. This race has not disappointed, nor did we think it would not be. Are you not entertained?
Oh, absolutely. And you got the Joker at the top. He's putting out on a show in that 16 machine. What really stands out to me, Wesley, we usually do race picks or who's your favorite to win. I honestly couldn't pick anybody in this field. How tight this
Don't
race
ask
has
me.
been. How close these guys have come up to the grid. We have guys that are up 24 spots, 19 spots, only a few caution flags on the racetrack. That means they've done it the hard way, Wesley. So really, whoever wins this race have done it the hard way, and they've earned this victory here at these next 25 laps.
By the way, William, what about mad props to Cody Sanderson and of course, Blake Lothian? They bonsaied off of one another. We thought they were going to crash. Lothian corrected and Fishtailed got going. Sanderson to the bottom of the apron. Actually, both trucks went to the bottom of the apron. Sanderson more, lost spots, but he still saved the truck and stays in the top 10.
Yeah, and I'm looking at other guys as well. Jose Luis Rivera in that 20 machine. He's still in the mix somehow. Jacob Klinkert in that 1. Robbie Richards in that 48. We saw what happened to him too, Wesley. He's currently 7. So a lot of names to watch out here with 25 laps to go.
Coming to the Geico restart zone. That'll wrap up another Serve Pro caution. And we go back to green flag inside lane. Picks up speed away from that machine of Taylor Peacock, the 81, working back into turn 1, and quickly Joey Doucette, William Tiller, goes to the bottom of the racetrack. He knows the inside's the way to go as everybody's diving from the top to the bottom like they're fighting for the last piece of cheese into turn 1.
Yeah, and who's fighting for that cheese is Ratatouille himself. Jose Luis Rivera throws a huge move in front of Brandon Bullock in that 17 truck. We're not even warmed up yet, and these guys are trying to make moves on the racetrack. Jose Luis Rivera finds himself in that 3rd spot, trying to lead the charge on the low side.
Piece of real estate is important, and it is important on the bottom of the racetrack. They know this. Doucette now on the inside. Lothian now will go to the top. He'll try to get that second lane formed. Peacock, Osborne, Klinkert will go with him on the outside, going back to 1, and we're under 25 to go now. 24 remaining in Daytona to lock in the top 20.
A lot of give and go here tonight as we come around the corner. Blake Lothian is in a dogfight with the Joker himself, Joey Doucette. They're side by side off of the corner here. Down the backstretch at Daytona, 24 laps to go. Then it's officially playoff time here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. But it will be Blake Lothian who leads momentarily around the apex.
The gloves are off, pal. The playoff window is open. Looking for a win, looking for bragging rights, looking to fight for any position you can to try to get in the top 20 if you're on the outside looking in. And if you know you're in the playoffs, you want to win. You heard Doucette say that. He leads the truck on the bottom of the racetrack, but now Lothian powers back. Most wins of anybody, not a playoff contender. He's causing a fight of fracas into 2.
Yeah, he's trying to get the checkered flag, as mentioned. He hasn't been able to close that deal the last couple weeks, whether it's in the Friday night series or the Monday night series. Wants nothing better to get a checkered flag here in this series, a series that he has multiple wins in, Wesley. He's won 50% of the races he's started in. Let's make it another one here. Around 3 and 4, finds himself in the top 3.
In his 6 starts, 3 wins, as you mentioned, batting 50%. Now, if he was able to win tonight, he'd have 4 wins in 7 races, and the most of anybody. Outside lane, through the tri-oval, Doucette to the bottom. Lothian will follow. Peacock, Rivera, Osborne, Bullock, Klinkert, Richard, Sanderson, Reeves. It sounds like a massive law firm. That's your top 10 here at Daytona with 22 to go off 2.
Now riding on board the 48 machine of Robbie Richards. He's faced some adversity here tonight. He's just trying to stay calm inside of this lead pack, but you see how crazy it's getting up there. Wesley, trucks are bobbing and weaving out of that draft. Nobody's comfortable right now with 22 laps to go. Everybody wants to be in that clean air.
Peacock trying to fight to get to the outside to the bottom. Here comes the Truck Vineyards 48 of South Carolina's Robert Richards now. He's up in the battle, methodically patient. Jose Luis Rivera outside lane, the 20 to the lead at Daytona with 21 to go into 1.
Jose Luis Rivera, one of those drivers that's in with a win, but let's get another one here tonight. Finds himself on the top lane, being pushed along by Blake Lothian, but a huge run out of the Joker. Joey Doucette on the low side of the racetrack. He's being pushed along by the 17 truck of Brendan Bullock. They'll run out of steam, though, as Jose Luis Rivera will continue that lead into 3 and 4.
It's something about Daytona, whether it's real life or virtual, you get the goosebumps. You know what the prestige is of wanting to win here. Make no bones about it, audience, on NASRA World. They want to win Daytona. Doucette, Bullock, Rivera. Here comes now Richards on the outside. Lothian into the outside lane now also. 20 to go, and they're into 1.
Gets tighter and tighter off of that corner, Wesley, every single time by as Joey Doucette's our brief leader. And you see Brendan Bullock's going to tap that apron with those Goodyear Eagles. Keeps it clean, keeps it moving as everybody's now side by side here. Down the backstretch here, Wesley. 20 laps to go, and we'll get that top 20.
Brandon Bullock shot below the double yellow line, went just for a glancing blow to the bottom of the apron, and then shot back up the banking, and quickly with the help of the draft on the air of Doucette got back in line. Richards also was in tow, mimicked him, got on the binders, and made the save also. But will that happen again? 19 laps to go. Doucette powers to the inside on the machine of Rivera, back to the lead into turn number 1 as they climb the banking, and it's pucker time at the World Center of Racing.
No domination in this race, just trading paint. Everybody has traded leads, traded position. Joey Doucette has been, in my opinion, the fastest truck out here. He's been the guy who's lingered inside the top 3 all race long, through the caution flags, through the pit stops. All right, now our race leader down the backstretch, although he's got Jose Luis Rivera to his outside into 3 and 4.
Gloves are off now, working off the banking into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Doucette. He'll stay to the inside. Bullock will go inside, outside, trying to break the draft on the leader, and Richards is waiting intently. Reeves from Georgia also up in the top 5. Here they go, going for moves inside and outside. I think it might be a little too early, but they're right now getting into position into 2.
You want to make sure you position yourself in a good spot here, Wesley. You find yourself a little bit further back. Caution flag flies. You might be involved in that big one. You try to get up as far as you can on this grid to avoid that big one at the end. But as you mentioned, though, some big movers inside of that top 5. Taylor Peacock, Brandon Bullock, Blake Lothian, Robbie Richards, all up multiple positions from the drop of the green flag.
A highly entertaining A's Lawn and Landscaping 250 has now reached probably the final 40 miles down the stretch. They come into the corner now, to the line, working back across the trioval. Here comes now Jose Luis Rivera. Blake Lothian now with a move on the outside with help on Rivera, also Peacock on the top. Meanwhile, Bullock with a shot on Doucette. They save it as they got wiggly in the corner out of 2.
Yeah, this is getting very, very dicey right here, Wesley. I can almost feel this volcano about to erupt on the racetrack as drivers are thinking about making it 3 wide down the backstretch here at Daytona. We are 3 wide for a second, going into 3 and 4. Oh my goodness, hold on, Wesley, as we're out of 4.
It was about to be 2 wide, then it broke 3 wide. They thought about going 4 wide, then they chickened out and went back 3 wide again, and they're not done yet. Doucette hugs the bottom. Here comes Raw, the driver Peacock. Outside, he's blinking, but he's right there with the leaders, and they swallow up the pack again. The leaders are in trouble, back to 1.
And you can't stay like this for many laps. Something has to break here, Wesley, as these drivers are nose to tail. They're almost door to door with each other as well. Coming off of 2 down the backstretch. We are 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 for the entire field into 3 and 4. Our new race leader, Taylor Peacock, on the 81, takes us into the corner.
And Peacock will pull away for the first time. Usually he is under attack. Well, I spoke too soon. Here comes Doucette. Swallows him back up on the inside lane. Take away the momentum on the 81. The inside lane quicker to the outside. He'll also take Bullock with him to the bottom and 15 to go, back to 1.
Throw those lap times out of the window because on paper, Joey Doucette is not the fastest truck on the racetrack, but that would fool everybody. Wesley, the 16 machine, has been at the top for the entire race. Haven't seen him falter, haven't seen him break yet. Now with 15 laps to go, he just has to sign, seal, and deliver that checkered flag into 3 and 4. He has to fight off Taylor Peacock, who is now to his door.
Yeah, believe it or not, the Toyota Chris Blanchard, the Blanchard's Towing House machine, is your fast man overall. 47.514. Where is he at? He's at the tail of this pack of traffic with the 14 leaders coming storming to the line. 14 to go. Doucette now inside, outside. Bullock. Mo Peacock now. They're all getting into formation now, back 2 by 2, and they do-si-do up the bacon at the World Center of Racing.
Tick tock, tick tock. Those laps are starting to tick down here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. This is the regular season finale. After this race, we'll have the Sweet 20 that will battle it out for the championship here into 3 and 4. Taylor Peacock is trying to let his colors fly into 3 and 4.
14 now make it 13 laps to go when they come back to the start-finish line, and believe it or not, there is a lot more respect given than earned, but it's about to go out the window. They tried to go 3 wide again, quickly fail. They go 2 by 2. Doucette quickly scampers away from Bullock. Here comes Peacock. Peacock still on the outside. He holds strength, holds charge, door to door as they are in the bacon in the corner.
Yeah, you saw Taylor Peacock with a little bit of a mishap there off of 4. Now back into the corner. Ed Osborne had to check up there to make sure there wasn't huge contact. Now down the backstretch here with 13 laps to go. Wesley, you can see some of these drivers now trying to strategize their way to the front, try to find those open opportunities. We're going to see some fireworks here around the apex of 3 and 4 off of the corner, though. Joey Doucette still leads the way.
Simply, clearly, mainly, who wants it more? Laps tick down. 12 to go when they come to the line, and it is still Doucette to the inside. Peacock now tries to make something work on the outside lane. He'll hook up also with the machine of Bullock. Osborne right back in this battle. Richards watching on as the top 5 wiggling, jiggling, giggling, ball off of 2.
Oh my goodness, all I can think about, Wesley, you find yourself on a balcony, you're scared of heights, you keep looking over the edge. That's what I feel like every time we come off of 2. These drivers get so close. Makes me so nervous up here in the booth, but here we go, raging into 3 and 4. Joey Doucette's our race leader, but I see a hard charge coming from the 81 of Taylor Peacock on the top side.
Well, the storm does rage, John. Right now, laps winding down as they again work their way to 11 to go. Doucette, Peacock right there side by side. Osborne wants to give a shove to the inside on Bullock's truck. He quickly backed away. They're still right there in nose to tail, 1 by 1 into the corner. Now they break out of line. Bullock below the banking. He got powered by Osborne. He's going after Peacock, and they work on the leader, Doucette out of 2.
Oh my goodness, huge run out of the top side there, as well as the 17 truck of Brandon Bullock, who put that nose right in the back of Joey Doucette. That 16, it's nobody's race yet here, Wesley. Everybody has a chance at that checkered flag as we come off of 4, still airtight with 11 laps to go.
Coming to the line, it will be this time by right now through the tri-oval. 20 laps, 20 miles remain, 10 laps to go right here to the finish. This is now the time when friends become enemies, enemies become friends. Who wants it more? 2.5 miles times 10 laps, 25 miles to the finish, and they work the back stretch with Doucette leading on the bottom again out of 3.
This is the money time, as you like to say, Wesley. It's that time to cash in. There's no more season. It's time to be perfect, as they said in Friday Night Lights. Do all of those things and more if you want to make your way into the top 20 here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. As we come off of corner number 4, Wesley, we're going to make it single digits, 9 laps to go.
This is worse than Russian roulette or going to Vegas and placing your bets. Any of these drivers, at least in the top 15, 16 for that matter, have a shot to win this race. They're all in a pack. The man from the back could find a way to get to the front, or the front could wreck, or the back can wreck trying to get to the front. So many stories and great pages of NASA racing history about to be determined as here we go again. They break out a line and try to go 3 wide going to 3.
The ink pen is out. The pages are about to be written. There will be new stories in the history that is NASRA racing, coming off of the corner here, airtight for the regular season finale. Taylor Peacock will lead this lap, make it 8 laps to go into 1.
8 laps to go now, inside, outside, Doucette to the bottom. Here comes now Bullock. Bullock with a shot on the leader, and Peacock is right there playing possum on the top shelf. Here comes now Osborne, up the banking. Look who's also back in the fight. Cody Henderson, who got slammed to the bottom of the apron, waiting, closing literally to the end. I'm getting tongue-tied. Lap traffic in the way. All of this is going on as they work into 3.
Brandon Bullock finds himself in an excellent spot there in that 17 truck. He's our hard charger, up 28 spots from the drop of the green flag. Now with 8 laps to go, he could be the one in victory lane. Taylor Peacock, though, is not finding any friends on the top side lane. He's going to get flushed out briefly, and here comes Mr. Jake Reeves. He is large and charging in that Marconi setup shot machine. Finds himself inside the top 5.
Those are lap trucks on the bottom of the racetrack, and they're by call.
My goodness!
And he sideways. Morales about spun in the apron. He about tagged Meza. They somehow hold it and save it as they work the back stretch. Doucette says, get out of the way as they work into 3.
Like a wave pool, the wave comes, the wave forms, the wave keeps flowing. And that's the front pack here into 3 and 4. We just keep rocking and rolling. We're 3 wide for that 5th position. Oh my goodness, Wesley. Hold on here down the front stretch.
They are 1 wide. They are 2 wide. They are 3 wide, storming through the tri-oval. Now it's pucker time. It is not pucker time anymore. It is now monster time. Who wants to go to the win? All of this is now going out the window. This is crazy driving to the finish into turn number 1 and 2.
Like the scene in Too Fast and Too Furious when all the cars come flying out of the warehouse. That's what it looks like here. Down the backstretch, you got cars moving every which direction, trying to find their window of opportunity to the top of the grid. No moves made, though. Still, Taylor Peacock will take us into 3 and 4 as our race leader, as a lap truck gets out of the way. Let's get it, Brockfoot the 22.
Broadfoot on the bottom of the infield grass. He stays to the inside, doesn't get in the pack. Will he draw a caution? No, he will not. The leaders work their way through the tri-oval. 5, count them, 5 laps to go into turn number 1 and 2. And just like you said, it's a scramble, baby, to determine the winner. Doucette now gets passed by Peacock on the outside lane into 2.
Moving pieces all over the racetrack. It's just waiting for that Jenga piece to fall. Will it come right now?
Oh, now.
Baby's Brandon Bullock comes out of line. Oh, we do have trucks crashing on the backstretch. No effect on the top side, though.
That's Hunter Parsons in the 15. He just got spun. There is a caution. Somehow Bullock started it. He got to the bottom of the apron, went to the inside. Hunter Parsons went to the bottom. He got collected in the scramble in the mid-pack, and the caution will come out here, setting up, believe it or not, possibly overtime in Daytona. If that wasn't enough, the storm is now going into overtime and brewing even more.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, Wesley. We had quite the finish brewing there towards the end. Late caution flag, as always, here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. We're going to have an absolute barn burner of a finish here tonight.
What a crazy, crazy race, and it's down to the end here. Last time they pitted was on lap number 73. We are under 5 laps to go. William Tiller, the question is, do you pit, or is track position key down in this final stretch of the race? You got to know your tires are used up. Here's a replay of what happened off of Brian Chu. Hunter Parsons around in Toyota number 15 to the apron. And it all started when Bullock went to the, Bullock's truck went to the inside and almost caused everybody to check up from there. There's a look at it one more time. There you see Bullock working off of 2, William, to the bottom of the apron. That caused everybody to scamper. And then Chris Kynes into the left rear, or the right rear, the right rear of the 15 of Parsons. And instead of turning him firewall deep into the safer barrier, he spins to the apron of the racetrack. Miller, other guys, Johnson quickly on the binders to miss him. Boy, oh boy, I just don't think you pit. I don't think you pit, William.
No, I don't think you
What do you
can
think?
either. No, you have to stay out. And I'm looking at the point standings as compared to the leaders right now on the racetrack. Taylor Peacock, part-time driver in the 81 machine. Great win here. Great way to close out the season. You move to Ed Osborne, though, Wesley, right into there in that 28 machine. Coming into this race, Ed Osborne was 25th in the points, 5 positions out of that cut line. The win here tonight, he would lock himself in the regular season finale. What a way that would be to go into those championship races.
This has been, without a doubt, a very interesting race. So it's exciting to see how it all culminates here at the end. Ooh, boy, oh boy. Pick your poison. I don't know who's going to win this race, William. I'm telling you.
No, I couldn't pick one either there, Wesley. How tight those runs were, how many lead changes we've had here tonight. And even when we do have a lead change, Wesley, it only lasts for maybe a couple seconds. Then you have a guy coming on the low side or the high side of the racetrack that will snatch that lead right back from whoever held it for just that second. So, I mean, it's just hard to call it. I think really what it boils down to, and it's kind of cliche to say, Wesley, I think it's going to boil down to this restart here. If you can get a good enough restart, you can separate, maybe make it a one-on-one battle or a two-on-one battle there to the end. That's what you ideally want, Wesley. For the whole entire field to go with you, that's when it's going to be pretty difficult to get that win.
It is Taylor Peacock, the leader. Ed Osborne, Cody Sanderson, Jose Luis Rivera, Brady LaBeouf, your top 5. They are still in the regular distance of this race, and the lights are out on the pace truck. Okay, so here's the deal, William. We are on lap number 98. This will be an official 2-lap shootout in the scheduled distance. We have not officially worked overtime yet. Wow.
All right. Well, it's all going to be on the shoulders of Taylor Peacock and Ed Osborne. As mentioned, Ed Osborne needs this win to get into the playoffs, Wesley. I don't believe he gets it on points. With a win, though, he's a full-time driver. That would put him into that playoff field. What a way to do it here. The regular season finale. 80s Lawn and Landscaping 250. I couldn't ask for more, Wesley.
All right, let's do it. Ready for the restart. Remember this. This is still the regular distance of the race. When they come to the line, it will be green, white, checker. However, if there is a caution that hangs in the balance, William, there is still 3 opportunities at overtime for a green, white, checker shootout. Again, still on the scheduled distance of 100 laps, 250 miles. It'll be lap number 99 to work when they come to the line. It'll be a 2-lap shootout coming to the stripe. This is it. And now, Ed Osborne, who at one time, William, was a part of an accident, will now be trying to bring the cavalry to the finish of the race, along with Taylor Peacock, Jose Luis Rivera, and Cody Sanderson. Joey Doucette, who was the leader, makes a pit stop. Or correction, I'm sorry, he got put all the way back into the top 5. We are going back to green. Who will win Daytona? Peacock pulls away easily on the outside on Osborne. and Jose Luis Rivera will follow, and they work into turn 1 with 2 to go.
That's the exact restart I was talking about there. Taylor Peacock's just going to take Jose Luis Rivera with him. It's going to turn it into a one-on-one battle, into 1 and 2. Here comes Ed Osborne on the low side of the racetrack. He's going to try to take advantage of that opportunity. He's now latched on the back bumper of Taylor Peacock on the 81 machine. Oh, no!
Oh, no.
My goodness, Wesley. Huge
Rivera.
wreck on the back side
And
of the
there's
racetrack.
the big one. Oh, my, the big
goodness.
one. Rivera, LaBeouf.
Wow.
Looks like Jeffrey Johnson again. Morales is involved. There is the machine of, is that Rivera?
Wow.
Oh, wow. Osborne wrecked. And who comes out smelling like a red rose or a green rose? Taylor Peacock. Oh, and the Joker, Joey Doucette, somehow weasels through the calamity again. Look at this replay presented by On the Pole. Watch this, William Tiller, down the back stretch. And now, by the way, overtime is happening. Race overtime 1 on deck. Oh, man, look at that. That's heartbreak. Rivera, Osborne. William, did you see Doucette, though? He slammed off the safer barrier, though. Even though he's in second, he did get into the wall. I wonder how much damage might be on the 16 as we go to overtime.
Yeah, there's going to be probably some damage to the 16, but I'm still looking at the fact of Ed Osborne there. Needed a win to get in. I'm not sure if what he did in this race will get him into the playoffs, Wesley, and to have it. And on essentially the backstretch, you had basically a half a lap to go. Once that white flag flew, the race was official. Man, just absolute heartbreak there for Ed Osborne.
Another thing to consider, Hunter Parsons wrecked, by the way. I think I said it was Morales. Hunter Parsons in the 15 caught up in it again. My monitor is so blurry when that wreck happened. It's hard to tell.
Also Sanderson there.
Yeah, Cody Sanderson involved in the 14 as well. And let's look at it one more time. This is on board, I believe, with Robert Richards, the Gaffney, South Carolina driver. Is he at fault? No. We're showing Doucette. Oh, yeah, look at Doucette in the wall. Right there. Hold on to it. Osborne coming at you. Whoa!
And look at Richards. It's hard to tell what actually brought out that caution there, Wesley. I think there was just a lot of movement there in that pack, and I think just the smallest of dominoes fell, and that just caused everything.
And, William, here's something you got to think about, too, bud. They were not up to full speed. As you said, they were all in a pack with one another. So it takes a lap or two, just like in real life with these trucks on the super speedways, to get up to full song. They were all bunched up with one another, and then you saw one little slip, and then there's a chain reaction from there.
Yeah,
it looks like from here, Sanderson got tagged, and Osborne and Rivera got clipped. Let's watch this right here. Look at the 14. I want to say the 14 hit the left rear of Rivera and then hit Osborne, and it turned everybody into the pack. Watch the replay.
I think maybe Rivera went up on the racetrack there, made contact with a 16 to Doucette, and that just caused a chain reaction there, Wesley.
Yeah. Now that I see it from a different angle, I don't think Sanderson really was involved in it. It looked like here comes Doucette. Left rear hit on Rivera's truck. That got him disturbed. He bonsaied off the passenger side of Sanderson into the side of Osborne, into the wall, Doucette off the fence. And then everyone else, as we mentioned, bunched up with one another, chain reaction. Johnson, LaBeouf, Blanchard, Miller, just a scramble to miss the accident. By the way, Jose Luis Rivera on pit road on a pit stop. And we have lights off on the pace truck. William Tiller, we go to overtime number 1. This is overtime number 1.
Yeah, and I think it's a huge overtime in the sake of we don't really know who's going to win the race. We don't know who's going to make that top 20 now. We look at Taylor Peacock. He's a part-time driver. He can get this checkered flag. Joey Doucette, who's been in the top 3 all race long, he could get it. We also look at Hendrickson right there, a new driver in this series. He could get it. Jacob Klinkert in the 1. He's been quietly excellent all race. He could get the checkered flag. Also, Jake Reeves, our colleague here at the NASCAR 360 Racing Network, he could get it right there. Anybody's race now here in this overtime session.
By the way, if you're a fan of Daytona, don't forget dual race number 2 for the NASCAR Special Events Kings of Daytona in preparation for the NASCAR 250. Duel 2 this Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Join Michael McKinnon, Brady LaBeouf, and myself in the broadcast booth for coverage of that race. That is the second duel, 125 miles, 50 laps, and then the stage is set for next Thursday night's inaugural Kings of Daytona. It's part of NASCAR Special Events, and it's broadcast exclusively on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. William Tiller, I'm Wesley Outland. Adam Flieger has done a phenomenal job bringing you the exciting virtual video images and just moments of what's going on here. And William, boy, stack up the deck. We're not done yet. I don't think we're going to see a checkered flag either right now.
No,
we'll find out.
Absolutely not. Yeah, we're going to find out in just a second here. Watch this restart. Who gets the jump, Wesley?
Serve pro caution wraps up, and boy, again, a second burst of overtime, same as the first. And here comes now Peacock with another good restart. Don't want to pull away too much, and you got to wonder how much damage might be on the Doucette truck. Also, Cole Hendrickson on the outside. He's going to get some help. Bottom of the racetrack, Klinkert with Doucette off of 2.
Yeah, right now, just moving and shaking, trying to keep it cool here off of corner number 2. Joey Doucette's going to get a big push from Jacob Klinkert in that 1. The 81 machine of Taylor Peacock, he's being pushed along as well. Things are all together into 3 and 4. Will it stay this way, Wesley, as they head towards you?
Down into turn number 3, Blanchard now bobs and weaves off Hendrickson's tailgate right to the inside. Klinkert will follow Doucette. Doucette to the bottom. They work their way through the tribal, coming to the Darren Snail Gun Repair. 1 to go at Daytona. Final lap of the regular season. Who's going to be the Sweet 20? Final time, overtime into turn 1. Peacock on the outside, but not for long, as here comes Hendrickson on the bottom into 1.
Oh, what a Superman move. That was, oh my goodness, huge wreck. Henderson into the wall. Taylor Peacock as well. Chris Blanchard takes us off at 2 as our race leader. Jake Reese on the outside. Jacob Klinkert there as well. Wesley is we're into 3 and 4 for the race win.
It is a big crash in the back off the bank and into turn number 2 to the super speedway super stretch. Meanwhile, the leaders work off the corner to the flag. Blanchard is leading. In tow, Doucette, Klinkert, Reeves. They move inside. They move outside. Blanchard's gonna win Daytona. Wow! Chris Blanchard at one time crashing makes his way back through the race, through the storm, and wins here in Daytona over Doucette, the Joker. Klinkert will finish 3rd. I about lost my voice. Oh my goodness, what a race.
Chris Blanchard just wins
here
in the regular season finale. Only 3 top 10s on this season. Make it another one.
He needed it. He's in the playoffs.
He may have raced his way in, Wesley. He may have done it. We'll have to wait and see here. But he may have clinched his spot there with a regular season finale win. We'll wait and see how those chips fall. I'm sure we'll find out during those post-race interviews.
Wow.
But Chris Blanchard with an absolute huge victory here tonight at Daytona.
Let's see the last lap one more time as Chris Blanchard is celebrating down below the flag stand in the tribal grass. That last lap presented by On the Pole Instant Replay. My goodness, William Tiller, the field imploded from within. It was just a wreck at the front, and then everyone just holding on in the back to somehow find their way through it. And if you thought the wreck on the back stretch was the big one, we just saw almost the entire field taken out but 5 trucks coming to the start-finish line. And Chris Blanchard survived the block. He survived the bump and run. He survived everything coming after him to win this race. Watch the last lap, and honestly, Adam Flieger, you need to go back to the front runners where Peacock and Hendrickson were. When the wreck happened, William, you had the privilege to call this wild part of the race going down the backstretch coming to the white.
Yeah, and you just look what happens here. The race is official here down the backstretch, and you just start to get those dominoes, those fireworks to go off there. Taylor Peacock takes us off with 2. You see what's happening behind him, some shaking, some moving going on there. That's Jose Luis Rivera right there in the 20, and it's just like gonna get trucks bouncing off of one
That's
another.
the previous
The old
caution.
one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the old caution, Adam. We need to see the one in turn 1 with Peacock and Hendrickson, dude. The 101 and the 81. That's who we're trying to find. Here we go. Now you're caught back up. Watch this, William Tiller. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, no, it's wild right there, and it's hard to tell from that angle there, Wesley.
No, there's no. You can tell. Peacock firewall deeped the 101 of Hendrickson. You're on the last lap. It's all bets are off. You want to win this race, William Tiller, and you can see where he hooked the right rear of the 101. Peacock made a wrong move, and of course that caused this massive crash, took him and everyone else out of the race. And anybody that was on the inside, you're lucky you got the free pass. Watch it in real time. Look at this again. Put it in regular mode. Watch this, William. Look, you're on the bottom, you're free. Look at that. Wow.
Crazy way to end the season.
And then meanwhile, we pick up the leaders after that crash happens. Let's stay with Blanchard, the 9. He's on the inside. He finds a way to weasel around Doucette and the crash because your top 2 trucks just wrecked out. He's on the bottom. Now pick up the 9. Blanchard down the back straightaway. And there he goes. And that's exactly, William Tiller, what he had to do to finish this race. And look at this, William. It was not easy. He had a hungry hornet's nest of 4 trucks coming after him.
Yeah, and I think what got the job done there for Chris is just staying composed. He knew what was happening behind him. He knew everything. And you see that shot here in the Nazareth 360 Racing Network.
And they're still wrecking behind them there, William.
Yeah, but he just kept his cool. As you mentioned, had about 3 or 4 trucks on his tail there coming onto the front stretch and didn't move, didn't falter, didn't kill that draft at all, just rode that line all the way to the start-finish line. And that's what you have to do there, Wesley. You have to keep calm, you have to keep cool, and you see it right there. Barely moves with it, and just an excellent job of killing that momentum out of Joey Doucette, getting the job done. I mean, just an excellent win out of the 9.
And William, I will give mad respect to Joey Doucette. He could have turned him into the fence. He could have went below the double yellow line to try to make a move on him. He did not. He backed off and let Blanchard have that win. I know he was competitive and doing everything he could effort-wise to make it happen, but definitely did not crash the 9 coming to the start-finish line. And for Chris Blanchard, his fingers are crossed for that Toyota to hopefully see if he has done enough with this win to put him in the Sweet 20 in the playoffs that start next Monday night at Charlotte.
Yeah, we have to wait and see, but it looks like we're ready to rock and roll with that
we
top
told
3.
We told you, audience, that this was going to be a memorable race. We told you that this was going to be one for the ages. We told you that even though drivers, William Tiller, have won races and are in the playoffs, they're going to want to win this race. So many factors in this play to determine tonight's A's Lawn and Landscaping 250. Probably it did not disappoint. I would say maybe NASCAR Race of the Year, and Clinton, Maine's Chris Blanchard has won here tonight. Let's take a look at the result. No, let's go to Victory Lane real quickly now, actually. We'll show the results when we go off the air. William Tiller, we're going to grab the winner, Chris Blanchard, and put him in Victory Lane. And Chris, boy, oh boy, what a race. What an event. You did what you needed to do to even survive from the bad luck earlier in an accident that wasn't your fault. And Highline Racing is in victory lane. And I think, fingers crossed, you might be going to the playoffs. But what a race.
That was unbelievable finish. I can't believe I can't believe I won. Like, I didn't have the race that I wanted to. I wanted to qualify up front, run up front, lead some get some stage points, but I just didn't have that. So I just rode in the back and was there at the right time and had the right pushing.
Man, this without a doubt was a highly interesting race for sure. What do you take? What do you take from this moment to see if you did what you needed to do to possibly put yourself in the playoffs? And I believe my colleague William Tiller will have that verdict here in just a moment. But can you please answer my question, buddy?
I had to win the race to be in because I was
Then you're
out
in.
But the problem is I didn't race enough races during the regular season. So I would have had to point my way in, and I was 60 points behind. So I did what I needed to do tonight. I went out and showed my strength and that I belong in the playoffs. It's just life gets ahead of you, and you can't make some of the races. So that's I'm okay with that. But Joey's on my Misfit Motorsports is a team that I put together this season with Taylor and Joey and Ed, and I was actually hoping Ed was going to win and get up there. He was winning, but he got wrecked out. So luckily Joey didn't wreck me out, and he let me win.
Highline Racing celebrating the over-the-top designs. Blanchard's towing number 9 out of Maine. William Tiller, he won the battle, but is he going to be in the war for a championship?
Well, just as Chris was alluding to there, it's the 10 races or 11 races so far this season that might keep him out, even though he gets that win. But I feel like, though, Wesley, looking at the results of some of the guys that were above him in the points, it's going to be very, very close, that last spot.
Cool. William, what do you got for Chris Blanchard, bud?
Chris, even if you don't get into those playoff races, we watched you all season, sort of a roller coaster season for you. How good does this win here in the regular season finale feel to you? And just looking at the record books, when was the last time we saw this 9 in victory lane?
Might have been definitely not this season. It would have been last season. I haven't even won on the Friday nights. Life's been crazy, and I just haven't been able to practice. I jump in on the rig when the session opens up on the night of the race, and I don't practice during the week, so I don't get to do that much. So hopefully with this winter it slows down a little bit. Next season I can focus and have a better season for sure.
Absolutely. It looks like Wesley's joined us back up here in the booth. And Chris, before we let you go here for the night, and I just got to tip my cap to you, man. You're a guy that comes out week in and week out. You just talked about it. Life gets in the way sometimes, but every week you put forth your best effort, and here tonight it pays off for you.
It does. And I want to thank Jason Morales for having me on Highline Racing, Tyler Dipner, Hunter Parsons, Steve Barnett, and Cole. He was I don't know what number the 101 truck. He started being in the Discord channel with us the last couple weeks, so he's a new guy, and I was actually going to push him. I was content running second behind him, but he decided to turn right coming out of 2, so I took his spot and was able to win. So and then I got Over the Top Designs and them John Hartwick that does all my paints and stuff like that on Friday nights. It's a great league to be in. Everybody, you guys do a great job. Brady does a great job. Tyler with the podcast, they're doing great, and everybody that I've been here a couple of seasons now. I think 3 seasons, 3 or 4, and the competition has gotten very good. Like, when I first started, I could come in 7:30 at night and run a fuel run, go out there, qualify, and and being a top 10. Like I didn't have to practice. I could finish in the top 15, top 10 without running any practice. But now you got to sit on the sim 2 or 3 nights a week to be able to keep up with these guys. And so pulling off this win, I know it's a super speedway, and everybody says I'm a ringer, but I'll take the win no matter how I get it.
Chris, would you say that this is the biggest win of your career, probably for a big race like a Daytona?
It is. It's one of them. I would say Atlanta Motor Speedway last season in the Xfinity Series
Right.
against Ted Wade was my biggest win. It was my
Yeah.
first win, and anytime you can suck a win from him, it makes you feel good. So.
We are waiting from TJ Moore and Brady LaBeouf, the top 20. And I promise our audience we will not go off the air until we have those top 20 drivers to be unveiled. That has been a guarantee. TJ Moore and the powers that be behind NASRA are working on the point standings. Chris, final question. I'll let you thank your sponsors. If you do not win the opportunity to go to the playoffs, obviously this has got to be the best relief for sure, no doubt.
It is. I'm just glad to finish off the regular season with a win. Like that was my goal, is to come win tonight, and the powers that be let me do it. So if I don't get in the playoffs, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna show up next week, and I'm gonna show my strength for the rest of the season, and then go start fresh next season.
There you go. For Misfit Motorsports, the number 9, Clinton Maines Blanchard. Go ahead, buddy.
There's a reason why I have a number 9 on my side of my truck. So if Elliot can't make it in, I'm okay if I don't. So.
I love it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have an uncle that lives in Dawsonville, Georgia.
Okay, cool.
He lives about a mile and a half from the pool room.
Yeah,
so
the Dawsonville pool room.
Yep. If you guys ever get down there, stop in for a cheeseburger. It's well worth it.
Been there, done that. Been to Dawsonville pool room. Been to the Dawsonville, obviously Georgia Motorsports Hall of Fame. Awesome place for sure, no doubt.
Yes, definitely a place to go see. So thank you guys. Keep up the good work, and hopefully I see you again this season.
Sponsors, buddy.
Everybody.
Chris Blanchard from Clinton, Maine, winner tonight here at or do you want to thank him? Go ahead.
Just Highline Racing. Those guys are a great job and great in my ear. So couldn't do it without them.
Highline Racing, number 9, getting it done again. Over the top designs on the driver of the machine of Chris Blanchard. Blanchard's towing and recovering. So many people. William Tiller again. We kind of emphasized on this. Even though you win a race, you got to meet a certain requirement of race minimum. And sadly, Blanchard did not meet that. And because of that, it is a possibility. We're waiting for the official top 20 to be unveiled. But it is a possibility that even though he'd done all this work to win at Daytona, he will not be running in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be heartbreak for the 9. And you talk about a driver who put in a lot of work this race and didn't get the checkered flag. That's the 16 machine of Joey Doucette, who is now standing by with us here at the NASRA 360 broadcast booth. And Joey, we saw you run top 3, top 5 for the entire race. Didn't get the checkered flag here tonight. Take us through this race.
I'm just glad I finished. I usually never finish on super speedway races. Just wanted to be up there, get stage points, and do the best I can to win the race. But second place ain't so bad, especially behind my best friend Chris. Even though we're on different teams, he is the owner of Misfits. So finish me on the boss. I'll take that.
And looking at this race here tonight, and I think I mentioned it on the broadcast, you weren't the fastest truck up there in that lead pack. You weren't showing fast lap times, but somehow, some way, Joey, you were holding down the top 3 positions, blocking top side, blocking low side. What was that newfound confidence or that newfound speed you were finding at the top of the grid?
I do a little other racing on Thursday Thursday nights with a group of guys in the trucks, usually at Talladega, and yeah, I started getting confidence at super speedway races, and it just, hit me. It just, I wanted to do good, and I got enough practice, and I just tried to stay up there and do what I do over there. I mean, usually I wreck over there too, um, but yeah, I mean, a lot of practice at these super speedway races. Usually I'm out back and just trying to avoid everything, but it seems like I'm getting caught up most of the time. And I said, nope, I'm not going to do that tonight. And I guess it paid off a little bit with the P2 here.
Clinton, Maine, Oakland, Maine. There's got to be something about these Maine drivers running in Nazareth. Joey Doucette, what's your take on that?
It's good to have Chris around. We live 18 minutes apart. I go to his shop once in a while, just doing, just hanging out and talking about, Nazareth, talking about, other races, and just hanging out and having a good time. I mean, he's helped me a lot. He's I guess you want to call a super speedway ringer, because usually that's where he's winning most of his races, is at either Talladega or Daytona. So learning from him. I mean, I qualified on the pole tonight because of Chris. He definitely taught me how to get around this place, and I appreciate him, and I appreciate my team, and wish we could have, wish we got the W, but finishing beyond the boss and making him happy.
Hey, Joey,
we'll take it.
So Joey, needless to say, obviously you guys got a good friendship, but William Tiller, we hear this all the time in the iRacing world. Needless to say, if you want to go hang out and have a beer, or if he really wants to fight you or you fight him of something that happens on the track, you guys aren't that far away where it could possibly become a reality.
Yes. Basically, every race on Mondays or Fridays, he'll call me after the race, talk about the race. If he's upset with me, we'll go meet up somewhere, talk it out, have a beer, or it hasn't gone to fist. So
Right. I'm just referring to the virtual trash talking that people say to one another sometimes, and it's like you get them in front of the computer and they're Rocky and Apollo, and then you get them 500 miles away and they can't do nothing to one another, and then they're all at war with one another. But literally, you guys could literally have a conversation and meet up if it come to that.
Yes, and that's the best part, though, because once we talk about it, it's over with.
Definitely a fun night, though. Second place, though, for Joey Doucette. We are going extended with William Tiller and my drivers and myself in the top 3, because we want to give you the official top 20 before we sign off the air. That is very important. I know Brady and TJ Moore are right now going over that as we speak for Nazareth, and we will get that, William Tiller and I will, before we go off the air. Joey, I got to ask you this question, man. The bottom of the racetrack, it looked like that was the way to go. When did you finally say, okay, I might need to try to do something on the top? And then as soon as you did that, you said, oh, no, I got to get back to the bottom. Was the bottom lane the best line on the racetrack tonight?
Yes. It just seems like the bottom had a bigger push going into the corner. I'd break away from whoever was running the top. I could have made the move to run the top any time that I got clear, but I decided just to stay on the bottom because I was getting that big of much of a run coming off, and I was just leading laps and logging laps, and nobody was really doing anything except for running too wide. But yeah, the top side was a little bit hairy. You really wanted to get pushed out front, and once you got pushed out front, you're basically straight to the bottom. That's where you wanted to be.
Oh, Joey Doucette, the driver, number 16 truck out of Oakland, Maine. We appreciate you taking the time with us here, my man. Good luck in those championship races. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Sir, that was Joey Doucette coming home second here tonight. It is now time to catch up with our third place finisher, a driver who's been waiting to be interviewed there, Wesley, the driver, the number 1, Jacob Klinkart.
they are still having a conversation of how the points will shuffle out. I am literally just blown away that literally they are trying to check video, they're checking video, they're checking things at time of cautions, who was wrecked, who went out, who pitted, who didn't. There is a massive effort being done to make sure that whoever the top 20 are, that it is done right and it is unveiled one time and one time only without any retractions. And I promise you, we will stay right here with you for an extended coverage. Usually I got to get off the air. I've got another iRacing broadcast commitment. Luckily, they're off on this Labor Day, and this was the big race on this Labor Day Monday night. William, working with you. Jacob, I guess we could say the same thing about you and Blanchard. I mean, him winning, you finishing third. You had problems in the beginning of the race, kind of got caught up in a stack up that wasn't your fault. And then you kind of played possum, hung in the back, climbed your way back to the front at the right time. You happy with the podium here?
I'm thrilled with the podium. I've been having a really rough season this season, and even in the Friday night series, I feel like I'm just like straight up downright slow on speed. Other than a couple nights, and even tonight, like this is one of my favorite tracks, Daytona and Talladega, and I was slow here tonight than what I usually am. So to come out of here with a podium is phenomenal.
I'll tell you what, it got crazy hectic down there at the end. What did it mean just to be there in the hunt of things whenever things went to overtime?
It meant a lot, especially on that one of the last two, not the last wreck, but the wreck before that. I definitely thought I was gonna be caught up in it. I made a dive to the bottom and the inside, and I somehow avoided it. It was close, but I'm just glad to be there. I had like 40 seconds total damage throughout the whole race, so I knew I wasn't a car to beat, but I knew I could at least stay up there, get a top 5 or better.
Couple of main drivers finishing 1 and 2. William Tiller, St. Louis, Missouri, from the land of the Arches, finishes in third of the Show Me State in the number 1 truck.
Yeah, Jake, we saw you up there racing inside that top 5. You know, your purple machine didn't really fade out too much. Coming off of Daytona, you know, you look forward into those playoff races. Looking at those point savings to come out here, how you feeling going into those playoff races after tonight's performance?
Feel pretty good. If I can get my speed back, Charlotte's a really good track for me. I did really good the last couple Friday night races I've raced there. I don't think I could do any worse on a Monday night, so I'm hoping to come out blasting through Monday night and maybe get a win, lock myself into that next round, and go from there.
There we go. And Wesley, anything else for Jacob Plinker, our
I'm
third
just
place
wondering if
finisher here?
I'm just kind of wondering if, you know, do you feel like, Jacob, you're in the playoffs, or do you know that you're going to be on the outside looking in and you're just kind of looking for a checkered flag and a reset for next year?
I know I'm low on I'm low on starts, but I'm pretty sure I made it on points. Last time I looked, I was 14th or 15th in points, so I'd be surprised with even the podium tonight and all the guys that are getting stage points, and I didn't get any that I'd knocked down that many spots, but we'll see what happens.
All right, buddy. Well, a top 3 finish for you. Before we let you go, thank your sponsors, man.
Big shout out to Brute Force. Those guys, big help in my ears throughout the whole race. Big shout out to you guys for working this Labor Day weekend, coming and filming for us. All of Nazra, Sim Racer Hub, and of course my painter. This month and next month are childhood awareness, cancer awareness. So big support coming out here with these guys racing hard and seeing what happens.
Jacob Klinkhardt from St. Louis, Missouri will finish in the number 3 spot here tonight at the Virtual World Center of Racing. Again, we await to hear from, of course, we await to hear from Nazra. We await to hear from Brady LaBeouf and TJ Moore.
I think it's official, Wesley. I think we have our top 20.
Well, can we bring in Brady? Let's bring in Brady LaBeouf real quickly, the president of Nazra, and we'll bring him in here if we can, and he can be able to talk to us real quickly. Brady, first off, before we unveil the top 20 of who's going to the playoffs for Season 2 of the Nazra Sim Racer Hub Truck Series, and I know you were a part of this race, but my goodness, what an entertaining night tonight here at Daytona.
Oh, absolutely, Wesley. It was. I think it was one of the better super speedway shows for us in the series.
The race had it all. Very intent. There were so many storylines. We tried to paint those pictures and more to our audience. But Brady, at the end of the night, besides the celebration of Chris Blanchard being the winner of the A's Lawn and Landscaping 200, the big elephant in the room is who is the Sweet 20? Who are the Fast 20 that will be going for a chance at a championship? Which, by the way, Adam Newbert won it last year, and I don't even think he's coming back to repeat. Who are these drivers that we will see as we get off the air? Who's your top 20?
Yeah, well, Adam Newbert will not be in the playoffs, so we will have a new champion. Chris Blanchard actually does not make the playoffs, even though he won tonight, because he doesn't have the minimum of 12 starts. So Chris Blanchard is out. So I think what they're trying to do is figure out who the regular season champion is. It's going to be a tight battle right here between Newton, Tyler Dittmer, and Hunter Parsons, and Joey Steyers. Well, it's really pretty much going to be between Tyler Dittmer, Adam Newton, and Hunter Parsons. But I'll start with the 20. It looks like it's going to be Hunter Parsons for Highline Racing, Adam Newton for Sick With It Motorsports, Tyler Dittmer, Highline Racing, Joey Steyers, Rev Racing, Joey Doucette, Misfits Motorsports, Kerry Tribute, Brute Force Motorsports, Robbie Richards, Brute Force Motorsports, Jason Morales, Highline Racing, Sean Hamilton, Mission 1 Esports, Lance Miller, the 979 Racing Machine, Brandon Bullock for Warrior Racing Esports, Brady LaBeouf for Mission 1 Esports, Nathan Maurer for Brute Force Motorsports, Jacob Klinghart, Brute Force Motorsports, Justin White, Brute Force Motorsports, Zach Hortwick, Misfits Motorsports, Raul Meza, Warrior Racing Esports, Brennan Broadfoot, 979 Racing, Brian Chu, Sick With It Motorsports, and the 20th driver will be Jose Luis Rivera with Warrior Racing Esports.
How about that? And William Tiller, we were literally saying, could he make it in? Could he not make it in? Did that crash take out Jose Luis Rivera? If there's any type of a remedy from what happened to him being in the front to possibly win this race, it is knowing that he's going to go to the postseason.
And I think, too, what helps him out a lot, Wesley, is that one win he has on the season, because he's the last driver in, but also a win also with the minimum amount of starts. So Jose Luis Rivera, without that one win, may not be that 20th driver.
Brady LaBeouf, thank you for all that you do, buddy. It's amazing what the North American Sim Racing Association has come from when it started back during the COVID years in 2020. We are enjoying being along for the ride, and I think it's going to be fun to find out who the new Season 2 champion will be for the Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. And let people know, if they're iRacers in the audience, that once we crown a champion after the playoffs, you're invited to come run, but we turn around, take a week off or two, and then we reset and go right back at it again for Season 3. You can literally get a chance to make a run for our NASRA championship title.
Absolutely. A couple of keynotes. Remember, those are unofficial results, folks.
Yes.
So we're still working out the kinks. That Stage 2 finish was not the official Stage 2 finish, so TJ had to come ask some questions about how to rule it. We got that straight with the admins. So they're still loading up the points. They're trying to do it in a quickly manner. Key note too, Wesley, this is the first time we're doing it this season. Even though the top 20, if you did not make the playoffs, top 20, everybody from 21st to 45th that put in for the champ fund, if you have a minimum of 7 starts, you are allowed to run in the second tier playoffs. So those group of guys, they'll have a second tier playoff system, and whoever finishes 21st, which be the champion of that second tier, is going to win $150. So
how about that?
A lot of big things that we're trying out this season to kind of keep everybody involved. So all these guys that didn't make the playoffs, they still have a lot to fight for. And we have a lot of changes coming for Season 3. We already had the schedule out for the drivers to kind of look over. We'll be announcing that on the broadcast. So a lot of great things coming, and especially this playoff run. I mean, we're sad that Adam Newton's not going to be able to defend it, but It's going
Adam
to be a lot
Newbert.
of hunger. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Newbert. Sorry, Newbert. But yes, there's going to be a lot of 20 drivers, 20 competitive drivers going for that championship. That's for sure, Wesley.
Should be a fun time for sure. And by the way, in closing, let everybody know also about NASRA special events and obviously that final preliminary of Duel 2 in the 125 qualifier Thursday night. And that'll set the lineup for that another historic NASRA special events in the King of Daytona's race on Thursday, next Thursday night.
Yeah, duel number 2 is this Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Wesley will be on the call, myself. You can actually still sign up for it. You'll have to start in the back of the lineup, and you'll have to pay the $5 penalty for not making qualifying. So if anybody's watching and they want to still sign up for that King of Daytona crown, come on, and we'll be doing another one after that for Talladega, Wesley.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. Part of the NASRA special events, and we're looking forward to it. Brady, thank you, sir. Fun time tonight. William, got anything for the boss?
No, I'm just excited to see these playoff races get kicked off. I'm excited to see who can take home that Season 2 championship. As Brady said, it's going to be a different champion this year, so excited to see who that can be.
Highly entertaining. Brady, thank you for your time, sir.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Brady LaBeouf, again, the man behind NASRA, along with, of course, TJ Moore, the race director, and Cody Knott as well with the North American Sim Racing Association. All right, William Tiller, let's now unveil, Adam Flieger, the unofficial results tonight for the A's Lawn and Landscaping 200 here tonight at the Virtual World Center of Racing. So much on the line to determine who would be in the Sweet 20, the Fast 20, going to a playoffs. Some drivers on the cusp of the outside looking in. Brady, I'll bring you back with our crew so you can go back and join whatever else is going on there with final tallies of the points. But here it is, unofficial. At least I would say the race is official, William Tiller. Chris Blanchard is the winner. Joey Doucette second, Jacob Klinkhart third, Jacob Reeves fourth, Lance Miller fifth, Nate Bauer sixth, Zach Hartwig seventh, Joey Stiers eighth, Blake Lothian ninth. Kerry Tribune is your top 10.
Yeah.
Hey, Wesley, Will, I'm sorry to cut y'all off, but real quick, Tyler Dittmer will be your regular season champion.
Ah.
Yes. And like we have the official top 20, Tyler Dittmer, Hunter Parsons, Adam Newton, Joey Stiers, Joey Doucette, Kerry Tribute, Robbie Richards, Jason Morales, Sean Hamilton, Lance Miller, Brandon Bullock, Brady LaBeouf, Nathan Maurer, Jacob Klinghart, Justin White, Zach Hartwick, Raul Meza, Brandon Broadfoot, Brian Chu, and Jose Luis Rivera. So I think that's what we had earlier in the show, but yes. Tyler Dittmer is officially your regular season champion, so you'll get an extra 10 bonus points.
How about that? We'll grab Tyler Dittmer here in just a few moments. As William Tiller, you got the rest of the top 20.
Yeah, Chris Kynes finishes in 11th, Brian Chu 13th, Brady LaBeouf 14th, Hunter Parsons right there as well, Justin White 15th, Robbie Richards 16th, Tyler Dittmer, we're going to speak to him in just a second, finishes 17th, Jose Luis Rivera in the 18th position. Rounding out our top 20 will be right there, Adam Newton and Ed Osborne.
Brandon Bullock will finish 21st. Cody Sanderson, his Toyota 14, was making a lot of noise for Hoosier Daddy Racing, 22nd. Taylor Peacock caught up in the wreck at the finish, will end up 23rd, followed by Cole Henriksen, 24th. He was also one of those contenders racing for the end. Jason Morales will finish in the top 25. Jeffrey Johnson Jr., Brandon Broadfoot, Ron Hunter, Jonathan Wiley, Raul Meza, the top 30. Big props to the Serve Pro 37 team out of California in the playoffs, though. Steve Barnett, Donnie Lyons, Torrey Thompson, and Tyler Daniels. The full field rundown of 34 trucks. And speaking of another number 34, truck 34, South Carolina's Tyler Dittmer, last year, play-by-play man for this Monday night series. And now, this year, regular season champion. Tyler, congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, Wesley. Was definitely nerve-wracking for a while. A great battle all season long with drivers like Adam Newton and Hunter Parsons. Yeah, just kind of relieved and really blessed was able to get it done. But yeah, we'll just see how that. We gotta get ready for the playoffs now, Wesley.
Originally from Gore, Virginia, now from South Carolina. I know there was a little trash talking and even rap jobs on trucks down the stretch before the playoffs, but you put your money where your mouth is and you did exactly what you needed to do, even through the thrills and spills the last couple of races and tonight here at Daytona to put yourself in the regular season championship spot. And what does that mean knowing that you're number one seed going into the playoffs at Charlotte next Monday?
It's great because I'm missing Charlotte next Monday at work. Unfortunately, my job kind of prevents me from running next Monday, so I'll only be running 2 races in the round of 20.
Oh, wow.
Those 10 bonus points are huge, Wesley. I mean, that was kind of the goal tonight, and that's the reason why I didn't just give up after getting hooked. Thought I was clear of that one wreck, and just someone came down and clipped me, and it's kind of on from there. So really, really blessed. Yeah. No, it's awesome, Wesley. Just very stressful. I'm glad to see my teammate Hunter Parsons. I think he finished second in the regular season title chase, so great for him getting those 7 bonus points, moving on to the playoffs. But it's definitely nice, but we were a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
William Tiller, what you got to say to your former broadcast play-by-play colleague and now a driver getting it done for NASRA on the Monday Night Series?
Yeah, first off, big congratulations, Tyler, for snagging that regular season championship. I know the last couple races, it's getting a little nerve-wracking, as you said, but heading into those playoff races, do you let that sort of get in your head at all as a regular season champ, or are you even more locked in now, seeing as though you're number 1 seed?
You can't let it get to your head. I think super speedway races just kind of aren't my thing. Don't really love them. So we'll just go. We'll be running the 2 short tracks. I wish we were running the intermediate, but we'll go to the 2 short tracks. We've had top 5 finishes in short tracks. We won at Richmond earlier this year, so go out and try to perform well at Bristol and Rockingham. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I know Joey Doucette poked fun at me with his IRP scheme, the Golden Boy scheme. Not bad for a Golden Boy, eh? Missing 2 races, still getting the job done.
There we go. Yeah. Wesley, see the champ is here. As he said, the champ is here, and he is rocking and rolling in those playoff races.
He certainly is, for sure, man. Now, one more final question, and thank your sponsors as the 2023 Season 2 regular season champion for the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series, again from Gore, Virginia, now residing in South Carolina, Tyler Dittmer. But, Tyler, can you still put yourself in the run for a championship? Because obviously now everything is win and advance. You have got to win one of these races, but do you feel like missing a couple of races? Can you get out here and do what you need to do to at least try to advance and do it?
Well, Brady and I both know that since I'm missing a race, I don't have that win in advance. You have to start all 3. That being said, 2 short tracks, I think I can go out and get 50-plus points at each of those short tracks, and I think 100 points is more than enough to advance into the final 14. At that point, I think I'll be clear to run the rest of the playoffs. Just don't know yet. It just depends on how things go. But yeah, huge thanks to Highline Racing, Jason Morales, for bringing me on board this year. Again, huge shout out to my teammate Chris Blanchard getting the win tonight for us, getting us back in front of the team points. I know that's a big deal for a lot of us. Huge shout out to the glass mechanic out there in the Phoenix area, all your glass and door and window needs. Yeah, they do such a great job coming on board as a sponsor on that 34 machine. Lizardworks Racing supporting me from the beginning of all my sim racing. Again, can't thank enough about simracerhub.com truck series here. Simracerhub.com is just amazing. And Wesley, you guys in the booth too. You guys make it fun for us. I love going back, listening, watching the races, listening to you guys call them. I'll go back and watch this one for sure. Probably being like, I made so many stupid mistakes, but I appreciate everything you all do, and excited to see what the next few weeks have in store.
I'll say this in closing. I think at one time I told Adam Flieger and William Tiller in the booth during a break, I said, guys, we sound like maestros here tonight. And it's because of guys like yourself out there on them track with those NASRA trucks putting on a great virtual show. It takes a team of everybody to make it happen and make it entertaining. And it's all one big virtual NASRA family pulling it off. And congrats on being the regular season champ, bud.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
So here we go. Tyler Dittmer, the regular season champion. Now we move into the playoffs. 20 drivers will fight for 3 rounds. That's week 15, 16, and 17. That begins next Monday night, September 11th. I have no doubt that in some shape or form, Adam, William, and myself will try to get together with Nazra and our producers and do some type of a tribute for 9/11 and our military and obviously first responders, because we will be doing a race on 9/11 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I think we'll have a special idea planned for that next Monday for the playoff race. The Sweet 20 consists of 3 rounds, William Tiller: Charlotte, Bristol, Rockingham. Before we unveil the rest of the schedule, those are 3 unique racetracks, 3 different sizes of configuration and comparison. And as William Tiller said, it's going to be a battle to watch these guys negotiate through these first 3 rounds.
No, absolutely, Wesley. Now that the dust is settled, we have our top 20. We'll know who will battle it out for that championship. Now it's sort of like that sigh of relief, that deep breath. You know who's going to go into battle. You know what tracks we face next. We have 3 very difficult racetracks, but 3 racetracks that everybody knows, Wesley. Who will come out of there moving on to the top 16? We'll have to wait and see. I cannot wait until next Monday night.
September 11th, 18th, 25th. That will be the first 3 rounds in the Sweet 20. Before we move into October 2nd, that will be the second round of the playoffs. That is the Fast 14. 6 drivers will be eliminated from the Sweet 20 to the Fast 14. That will be 2 rounds, October 2nd, October 9th, Milwaukee Mile and Darlington Raceway. Then another 4 drivers are eliminated. The Fast 14 will become the Elite 10, and that will be another 2 rounds, October 16th, October 23rd at Chicago. The penultimate race, just like Daytona for the regular season, William Tiller, will be at Talladega. Will you have it any other way?
Oh, not at all, Wesley, especially this way the season has played out. It came down to overtime here in the regular season finale. What these playoff races have in store can only be just exactly what we've seen all season long.
And the championship 6. 4 will be eliminated from the Elite 10, 2 rounds to the championship 6 finale. 6 drivers for the championship. Auto Club Speedway, Monday night, October 30th. That'll be a special day because I'll also remember that date because that's my dad's birthday. He'll be 64 years old. So October 30th, not only Daddy's birthday, but also the finale for the championship. And we will crown, as we mentioned, a Season 2 champion. And it will not be Toccoa, Georgia's Adam Newbert, who was the Season 1 title holder. It was a good one, Adam Flieger. You did a great job tonight. William Tiller, I said we were maestros. Hell of a broadcast. Probably one of the best NASRA races we've ever worked together. Your final take of Daytona and the A's Lawn and Landscaping 200. And now, brother, it's on to the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely, Wesley. Just fireworks here tonight. That's all I got to say. It was fireworks from the drop of the green flag. It was fireworks to the very end of this race, Wesley. Always a blast here on Monday nights.
We hope you enjoyed it, the archives and replays, and I'm sure NASCAR is probably going to put together some kind of a highlight reel because this was, without a doubt, one entertaining race not to forget. Thanks for all of our viewers. We appreciate it. Check them out at NASRA Racing on social media, Facebook, X, and Instagram, and NASRA-Racing.com, the official website of the NASRA 360 Racing Network on YouTube. Don't forget, Dual Race 2, 125 miles, 50 laps, for the final spot, the final qualifying race before next Thursday night's King of Daytona dual race. The Kings of Daytona NASRA 250, the inaugural event, part of NASRA special events. That'll be, of course, on Thursday night. Also, Friday night, we have another race going on with the Cop Series. William, what's on deck after their road course race at Daytona this Friday?
Yeah, road course race last Friday, and then we move into a little bit more of what these drivers are used to. Heading into next week there, Wesley, we're heading to Rockingham. Then we'll hit Talladega and then Lucas Oil before that all-star race.
And Charlotte Motor Speedway next Monday night for round number 1 of the Sweet 20 playoffs. Again, for 20 drivers and for the opportunity for everybody else on the outside looking in, an initiative to Run for Points Fund as well for 21st spot. That's pretty darn cool. Thanks for checking us out again tonight here from Daytona. For Adam Flieger, William Tiller, Wesley Outland, thank you to TJ Moore, race director, and of course the people behind NASRA with Brady LaBeouf and Cody Knott. Thank you for joining us for the A's Lawn and Landscaping 200. Congratulations to Chris Blanchard, winner tonight at the virtual World Center of Racing. Good evening from Daytona. We'll see you at Charlotte, the Mecca of Motorsports, Round 1, Season 2 playoffs next Monday night.